Good evening once again. Welcome to our 108th edition of the Issues Room, a production here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the Issues Room page. Hi, Volcano Shelton here tonight with you. Will be joined shortly by Moses Sandy, and of course, we anticipate our studio guest tonight who will join us at some point. But again, we'd like to welcome you, everyone who are following our broadcast. It's a pleasure having all of you tuning to us when we come here on Mondays, rather Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today is November 29th, 2022. It's 7:01 p.m. now, I would say. And it was celebrated today in Liberia as a national holiday. President William V.S. Tubman, one of our presidents who served the longest term in the country, 27 years, uh, uh, was born on this day, and it was commemorated as a national holiday in Liberia. And tonight we say Liberians celebrated this holiday in the country. However, the current president who have been in Liberia to celebrate with the citizens is out of the country. He is in Qatar, and in fact, he was at the game today because his son played again um, in the match that advanced them in the second place to the group of 16, the knockout round. Um, but we'll cover some of those things in sports. Let me bring Moses Sandy E and bring him live so we can have this conversation here tonight. Moses, good evening. Welcome. 108th edition. The numbers are going up, and we've been consistent over the last several months now because, we want to make sure that we're reaching out to the people, bringing the events, bringing unfolding, activities happening in the country. So again, it's good to see you.
Thank you. It's always good to see you too, in the issues room. Definitely, we are getting there, Volcano. We are getting ordered in this business. The issues room is beginning to take roots. So we are happy that we are always out there sharing with our people the most critical, the most important information that they need for decision making, especially uh, in issues that regard Liberia, the future of Liberia. So, once again, let me say thank you to our many viewers who are out there. I want to welcome everybody to the show today. Kind of do us a favor, share the link. And tonight we have come to discuss those issues that matter most. Thank you, Volcano, for teaming up with me.
Good, good. Again, we just like to remind you that our broadcast Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and midnight in those nations where they are on the Greenwich time zone. Um, we are the alternative here on social media platform. We are designed particularly to discuss Liberia, the African continent, and the Black diaspora. So we welcome you wholeheartedly. Share the link, as Moses said. Invite a friend, love us, like us, follow us. It's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. So it's good to see all of you. And don't forget, come in the chat room. Let us know you're here. We'd like to recognize you. And when we open the line later tonight, we will hope that you will join us then. But Moses, let me quickly run through the World Cup. This is one of the things that we're doing now since we're in the World Cup season. Um, on Saturday, because our last update was for Friday. So on Saturday, November 26th, Australia beat Tunisia 1-0, followed by Poland that defeated Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia started off with a great win over Argentina, and people thought that they would have amounted to something. but unfortunately they fell to Poland in a 2-0 win for Poland. And then France came also on that same day and defeated Denmark 2-1. Mbappe led France to a two-goal. Kylian Mbappe, who plays for France, was the one who scored both goals. Then on the same Saturday, Argentina defeated Mexico 2-0. Lionel Messi, of course, was the one who drew the curtains with the first goal, and another young man scored the second goal. Then on Sunday, Costa Rica, who fell to Spain 7-0, was fortunate to have won Japan 1-0, while Morocco was also fortunate to win Belgium 2-0. Then Croatia beating Canada. So Canada took major defeats. They never won a game. They never drew a game. Croatia beat Canada 4-1, and then Germany and Spain had a 1-0 tie. Spain was in the lead, but Germany came back and redeemed. Then yesterday, Cameroon and Serbia played to a 3-3 draw. Then Ghana defeated South Korea 3-2, while Brazil beat Switzerland 1-0, and Portugal defeated Uruguay 2-0. Today, continuing the group stage, Senegal was fortunate to defeat Ecuador. So Senegal is going through as a runner-up in the group of 16. Netherlands also defeated Qatar. So Qatar didn't win a game, didn't draw, just like Canada. So the host nation is totally out. So I'm hoping that people will still attend the games, but I would believe so because is I
Is it?
guess it's the only thing happening right now in Qatar. It's the
Yeah,
biggest event, the world stage, and so a lot of the citizens will probably attend the game. And
yeah,
then the United States was very fortunate today to defeat Iran. So they handed Iran a victory 1-0. So that puts United States as the runner-up in the zone of that she comes from to go into the next round, and she should be playing on Saturday. And then England defeated Wales 3-0. So England tapped that group. So tomorrow we'll continue the games: Tunisia, France, Australia, Denmark, Argentina, Poland, Saudi Arabia, and Mexico. Senegal was the first team to cross over the hump, so they will be in the group of 16, the knockout stage. So good things happening for the African nations. I will hope that uh, Morocco will hopefully cross the hump. That is if they have a win. So that's your update for the World Cup.
yeah. From my end, I think this is a story that everybody is familiar with. Right now, as I speak to you, the Minister of Finance, Development Planning, Minister Tour, his wife, and others that were involved, that were within when his vehicle was involved in a motor accident on Sunday of this week. The minister, his wife, and the others are currently in Turkey where they are undergoing medical treatment. So, on behalf of the issues room, we just want to wish the minister, his wife, and the others well. We wish them speedy recovery, and we hope that the Lord will be with them and their family during this difficult time. But I would like to take our people back to Lofa. Minister Tua traveled to Lofa over the weekend to speak or to serve as keynote speaker at the Lofa Community College graduation program. And following the graduation ceremony, a group of Lofians, especially members of the executive committee of the Lofa Association for We Are Second Term, assembled to honor Minister Tour. And Volcano, the guys have been cracking. They refer to the minister as their father. But as they were speaking, I was looking at some of those that were calling the minister their father. They seem much older than Samuel Tour. So I wonder, but who is the father now? I know someone will say, well, that's a son of honor. They refer to Minister Tour as Liberia's best finance minister. That's a complete contradiction of what is happening in today's Liberia. They said in one George Weah, they gave Minister Tour a petition or a statement or support to take to the president. They said the Weah administration has done remarkably well. That's also a misrepresentation of the truth. How do you speak of providing effective leadership when you have a president who has literally abandoned the country? He's going to be away for 48 days. And you got a group of people in Lofa assembling, referring to him as one of Liberia's finest leaders. So after this statement was presented to the minister, and I took two salient points. You know, Volcano, whenever we come on this talk show, we refer to Minister Tue as a pathological liar. In Lofa, he displayed similar behavior again. He told the people of Lofa that the we administration is making significant progress. He promised that by December, the administration will begin the construction of 28 high schools in the country. That's another falsehood. The minister did not say the truth. He lied. He also told the people of Lofa that as we speak right now, the Liberian government is constructing 50 elementary schools around the country. I challenge Minister Tue. I think that's also another falsehood. Are you there, Volcano? Volcano, are you there? The minister, Volcano, I'm not hearing from you. Are we having a technical problem? Hello? We seem to be having a technical glitch. So we're trying to correct that and come right back and continue our podcast. So please bear with all guys, wherever you are, kind of bear with us while we try to take care of this technical problem here. So we are back. Volcano is going to be back. We're having a little bit of a technical problem, but he's going to be back soon. So as I was saying, Minister Tuet is a man who is known locally and internationally for the propagation of falsehood. Samuel Tuet lies about almost everything. While it is true that we sympathize with his situation, but the information he provided the people of Lofa that the administration will next month begin the construction of 28 high schools in the country, that's not true. How possible would that be when the government has not paid civil servants for almost 3 months now? when lawmakers have not been paid for more than 2 months, when employees, the enumerators, have not been paid for services being provided. So where's the money going to come from? This is a serious problem with Mr. Twelve. He doesn't say the truth. He misrepresents the facts in the country, and that's very sad. But I would like to go back to Volcano. Volcano, if you are there, kind of join me in studio. It seems that we're having a technical problem tonight. Are you there, Volcano?
Moses?
Yeah, I think we're having a technical problem.
Yeah, we're still live. Continue. Let's just wrap it up, man. Wrap up your trending news. Our studio
Yeah,
guest.
yeah. I was just quickly saying that Minister Tua is not a credible person. He's fond of propagating falsehood. He went to Lofa. He told the people of Lofa that
Let's
by
just wrap it up,
December,
Moses. Yeah, let's
yeah,
just
the
wrap it up.
government will start the construction of 28 high school, and the government is currently constructing 50 elementary schools in the country. How possible can that be when the government is financially challenged? And
Okay,
let me give
great.
it to you there. Yeah.
Yeah, let's. I think let's just go into our
Let's go
conversation.
into our
I,
discussion for
I'm
this
I'm
evening. Yeah.
absolutely apologetic tonight. Quickly, I'd like to say sorry for what is happening. We already got to work on some of these technical issues here, and I think this is just something that I have to address beginning tomorrow. We're having some very much issues, so I would try to get on it by tomorrow. But again, we would like to apologize to you, our viewers, and to our studio guest who is waiting backstage. We'll bring him right in and start this conversation. It's unfortunate, but that's technology. We have no control over it. It can act up anytime, and we'll try to look into the matter and see how much we can address this. Again, I'd like to apologize to you all. The momentum was being gained, and all of a sudden we had to go off just to make sure we ratify some of the issues that were taking place. That's why we consider the issues room. So we'll address the issues, we'll fix
Yeah,
the issues, we'll talk
yeah.
about the issues, and so there was a little bit of technical issues. Again,
Yeah.
good evening, welcome, Thomas Awaji, Thomas Harvey, Foyje Moyu, Flomo Livingstone. Please share the word. Please share the word. The conversation begins now. Let's welcome our studio guest, Mr. Monier Kashan. Mr. Kishan is here with us tonight. He's commonly known as the General CPP
General,
USA. The It's a Brigadier General, Major General, uh,
the
Lieutenant
general is in
General,
the house, my man.
It's
what type of general?
a full general, 4-star general.
Oh, not
Woo!
CRC, not CRC, but
No,
just
not
general.
CIC. I just stopped to full.
Yeah, but welcome, General. Welcome to the issues room.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Anytime, welcome. You
Yeah,
know, although I came a little after the time, but I had to do some other stuff. You know, when you got kids in the country, you got to rush to pick this person up from this
I
other
know.
practice and that other practice. So it's not
It's
easy. Yeah,
understandable.
but it
Yeah,
was okay. Yep,
that's what comes along with the terrain, right?
yep, yep. If you don't want it,
Yeah.
don't get none.
All
No,
right.
welcome, sir.
So
Go ahead, Volcano.
we've gone far into the broadcast. We had to do our trending news, and unfortunately, we had these little issues here and there. But Mr. Kishan, just introduce yourself formally. I know that you also have your own personal one man
Yeah,
platform where you
yep.
know look at the political uh, issues in the country. You're rooting for the CPP accordingly, and also for that of Mr. Cummings. You are wearing your T-shirt. But before we go into the conversation itself, share with our audience, our viewers, who is Mr. Kishan? What does he do in America? Uh, and you know your political experience following the process.
Yeah, for those of you on Radio Land or on Facebook, and I want to say thanks to the issue room for giving the message to our people. And I know it's not an easy thing; it's a sacrifice because you're not getting paid. So I want to give my hats off to you. Although you guys are state journalists, although from Liberia, but I still consider you
Thank you.
as journalists because I know you.
Thank
But
you.
to those of you who watching us, my name is Munel Kishen, and people call me General because the general name came from I was once Inspector General of Labor Ministry, so most of my friends call that name, and I
Okay.
decided not to use it. But I am a cable technician. I do fiber optic. I do home security, and I also got my little business where I do remodeling of houses and
Oh,
sometimes flip stuff.
okay.
But anyway, this whole show is not about me because my business is my business. But we are here to give the message. I'm a political commentator. I got my little show where I'm not running a network. So you're not bringing two guys on to ask questions. I've already dedicated my time to support a candidate that has started since 2016, and I believe he's the guy. That is why I'm here to sell my product. So this show is not about me. It's about Liberia first, and then the individual that I believe can lead our country. So I am prepared and ready to answer any question. If I can't answer it, I will tell you because I will not know everything. And I will try my best to do what I can do. Whenever you ask the question, but any question.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
you were saying you were giving your little background and then you kind of like broke through there. Were you saying you do home remodeling?
So I got a little small business where I
Little
remodel house
business.
and on my spare time, sometimes when you see me in my truck, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm a Comcast technician. I work Comcast and I do fiber optic, I do cable, I do home security and internet, a lot of other services. That's what I do. But then again, on my spare time, I'm also a photographer,
Oh
and
wow.
also got a little. I got a certificate in video editing in production,
Wow.
so I do a lot of stuff. But if I count a lot of things I do, anyway, Volcano will tell you, your mulatto boy, you got too much thing. A lot and I sold too also. In America, they will tell you say designer, but I sew mainly for my wife, and sometimes I sew for myself. So if for any African things, or you see me with a propose suit, know that I
Okay.
made it myself. Yeah. But
Oh
some people
wow,
piss
wow,
off
good
because
job.
I don't just do it for people easily, but these are things that I do, and, and
So
sometimes bring
because
cash and
because when you sew for people that clothes will be tight, right?
it will not be tight. The fact is that they won't pay.
They were
In
not want to pay. They want you typical Labrador thing, right?
in America, they call it that means you sewing it for the April, especially it's a designer suit.
Yeah,
It's not a general thing.
yeah.
So you can go in the store and buy a pants for $20, $30. But you need to sew your pants for $20 for a while. I'm gonna be wasting my time. And you gotta come for things and do other things, and. But so far, apart from that, I love politics. It's part of us. I've been in I actually got into this politics from my late boss, Serenius Fall,
Okay.
who I got very close to from labor ministry, who taught me things just by working with him. And I've not seen no other Liberian until I met Alex Cummings. They almost got that similar thing. They believe they got some principle that they just believe that, listen, I no one is perfect. But the biggest thing that he told me, he said, honesty is the key to everything.
Who told you
Because
that?
yes,
Who told you that?
Serene
Serena,
for.
Serena Ford.
Yes,
Yeah.
and he gave me this book that was written by Jefferson. And when they come in their leadership, is the first topic, honest. Because if you're not honest, don't waste your time. An honest man will not kill, will not steal, will not suppress, will not undermine. We're not perfect. But once you honest to someone, you will tell them the truth. Whether they piss or whether they mad at you, you got to tell them the truth. And that should be the first hallmark for anything you want to do in your life, in leadership, anything. Honesty, tell the people the truth. They will live with it and they can move from there. Instead of promising, lying, at the end of the day, will catch you. I heard you talking about and swear. And that is what catching up with them today. Lies will not take you anywhere. Let the people know the truth. Like brand people are very easy to deal with. Tell us the truth and be consistent. That's the whole thing. So that's
Absolutely.
part of my
Absolutely.
my foundation: honesty, integrity, and empathy. That
Okay.
three things that I try to live with.
That's
So let me
excellent.
quickly say this, Moses, quick. So you've been propagating for Cummings. Is Cummings aware that you're doing this, and do you guys have a relationship? Have you met the guy, or you just doing it because you love the man, but there's no connection? You're not connected to the CP, rather the ANC as a party member or anything. Because it's easy for anyone to jump on Facebook and say that's my man, but the man don't even know you're doing it for him. I just wanted to clear
Yes.
that out there so that the ANC
Okay.
people can come here and say that man talking in his own capacity, he doesn't represent us.
Okay. Let me say this first. I'm one of the person who I don't fall in love with politicians. I admire politicians. I admire your platform. The good thing is that no one brought me to Alex Cummings. I saw Alex Cummings and profile 2016. I was a George Weah guy. And at the time I was supporting George Weah, people told me, you ought to know better. That's an insult. How you be behind me like George Weah? But I look at him from a different point. Listen, this guy could be a good leader if he can work towards it and bring the best around him. So when I saw Alex Cummings in 2016, I said this guy could be the best for us, but I doubted whether Liberians really would want him. So I started supporting. I just came out this day. I declared my intent, and the insults were coming in. My man, we expect you to support George. I said, listen, I'm telling you, this is the guy. Whether he lose or not, we'll push it. By then, I never met him. Nobody called me, but they invited me to some meetings where I refused to show up. I said, listen, I don't want to join a political party. So I started working with a group from the same ANC from Painesville. So I would just do my little connections. I fixed T-shirt for them. I think I contributed $200 towards the T-shirt back there. And I never met Cummings. I went to Liberia 2018. I was there for 6 months. My brother was contesting. We made an appointment and my brother met Cummings and I never showed up that day. He said, well, I said, no. It got nothing to do with me. I want you to go and meet Alex Cummings. And people been calling me, oh, Mooney, you got to be part of this thing. It was 3 years ago. Yasini tried to do the connection. They gave me the number. I said, you know what? Let me just try this number X. So it was on New Year's Eve. I said, oh, Happy New Year. And when I looked, the person responded and said, oh, Happy New Year. May I know who I'm speaking with? Then I said, oh, my name is Munel. Then he said, okay, I'll call you back. But then to my surprise, in 15 minutes, he for call. Then I said, oh, my name is Munel Kishen. And we'll start talking. One thing he said, then he said, listen, I saw your show before. I saw you. And one time I came across it. Then I said, well, I'm one of your supporters, but I just decided this time now to show myself to you. And we spoke for like 10 minutes, and that was it. Then when I look, ANC call, and then they put me on the communication. To my surprise, we were in a meeting on Zoom, but nobody knew I've met Mr. Cummings and I've spoken with him. So when we were in the meeting, everybody introduced themselves. He just said, hi, Munel. Then everybody said, oh, well, you know the man. I said, I'm sorry. I already texted the man, and he texted me back. And I will tell you, the relationship is that anything I want to know when I speaking, if there's a rumors going around, when I text Alex Cummings, he will reply me. If I give him any ideas, when he read it, I know that you read my text. I don't need to get a response from him. But if I want to talk to him, I can tell my wife. He has spoken to my wife. My brothers and other people. When I say, Mr. Cummings, I got to talk to you. If that 5 minutes we talk. Mr. Cummings once said we drove in Chicago for 50 minutes to go eat and come back. When we had a program, we drove together. We sat in the car, only two of us. And I asked him, asked every question I wanted to ask him, and he answered it. And one thing he said, when people really don't ask me questions when we sit in the car, I said, wow. I said, but my mom go spend time. And I said, I'm never afraid of my boss. Then I told him, I said, listen, my late boss, man, Serenos 4 used to sit in the front seat. So I was free to asking questions, and we talk, and I asked Latin. So I want to tell everybody that when you hear me telling you that what Alex Cummings will not do this is something that I asked. And in fact, Musa Belete admitted to the group the other day. He said, wow, the general sometimes will call me 2 o'clock in the morning when he hear rumors, because you see, when you're supporting someone, you don't need to contradict yourself. I can't come on and say, oh, Volcano going to do this. Then when I look tomorrow, Volcano is up there saying something different. So, but that relationship, I will tell you for free, I don't talk to Alex the 10, 15 minutes. The highest we ever spoke on the telephone, I think, was 10 minutes at one time. But whatever I got to tell him, because I know people got to talk to him. I'm just lucky or I'm fortunate to get to him. Anything, 5 minutes, I will tell him. I said, this XYZ. Hey, listen, people surround you. You might not be able to see. We on the back, we will see. And I will text him. And after sometimes 2-3 days, Mr. Cummings will send me a text and say, oh, Muna, thank you for your text. Thank you for everything. And I was surprised. I will say again, I never met his wife before until in Maryland. I say, hello, Mrs. Cummings. She said, hello, Munel. I said, you know me? She said, I follow you. I was proud, She said, I follow you. I said, wow. But I want to say this to people. It's not about me. It's not about nothing. It's about Liberia. Tomorrow, Alex could win and never call me. You expect me to get mad? No. I'm in it because of what I see on that, the consistency. And I'm reminding all the time. And in fact, he said it again when he was speaking in Chicago out there in a speech. And you know what I mean? When they single you out, he said, like, Munel, my general, will always remind me on XYZ, because I will be the first to call you out. I'm saying it, I'm not joking. And
So
sometimes he was
there's a potential he could be watching the show tonight.
It's
oh
likely.
yes, and in fact, I share it on his page, and I share it with his wife. I already did that already. So he see all these things there. He tell her one thing. He said, guys, I know who work for me. I know who doing things, and he's one of the guys who will tell you behind closed door that if you support me because or tomorrow when I win, then I owe you. Do not support me. Do not. And it brought this thing to me. They say, yes, a great leader is to do behind closed door. It's like you go in your room, you praying to God. I wanted the best prayer. Behind closed door, where he's supposed to convince me, say, oh, Muna, if you win, give you XYZ. He said, listen to me. If you support me that tomorrow you come to be a big shot, do not support me. Let me tell you something. There's something called zero tolerance if you're in a group. He said it would be easy for me to consider someone who don't know anything that we talk about than for me to consider you if you break the rules. He said, if any one of you break the rules, I will pray to God. In fact, he said, I won't lie. He said, I will pray to God. I said, thank God I'm coming to set an example
Thank
here.
you.
So
Thank you, General.
that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, thank you, General. Look, before we even delve in further into the ANC, your commitment to Mr. Comey and the ANC, I just want to start on the contemporary Liberia today. And when you were backstage, we're discussing the position statement that emanated from the group of Liberians referring to themselves as Lovians Associated for We Are Second Term. They made a number of claims. Mr. Weah is one of Liberia's finest president. They referred to Samuel Tuer as Liberia best Liberia best finance minister. And they said Weah has given them what other leaders did not give the people of Lofa over the years. Do you believe any of those things that emanated from those people?
You know, when you see the finance minister standing in front of you with the bag and get the US dollar, he's the best minister. Nothing else. Look, that's the country we have. That's the country we have. Oh, George, we are its president. Is the cash they're going to receive. Our old people. George Weah is this because Sametua went there and gave him money. Don't get me wrong, there are people in Lofa County who will support George Weah. 20 to 25% of the Liberian people will support George Weah, whether he in jail, whether he on the ground, they will support him. When he eat food, they will dance. Some people just naturally love him. But I don't know, dude.
Money,
Yeah.
just ask you, can you, if you have a monitor before you, because I know you're using your headphone, it's giving a little crackle sound and is a little
Okay.
muffled. So maybe you just
Yeah.
want to lower the volume a
It's
little
off
bit.
now.
So
It's off. It's
yeah,
okay.
let's go ahead. Yeah,
Yes,
Okay.
okay,
let's.
yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
sir.
So Sametua, he's one of the number one sorry pathological liar in Liberia. He is the one that get George Weah into this thing. This boy lied so much until I don't know if he really got the face to look at himself and to see a video of him lying. He said 50 primary schools already been built. They're going through, and you're going to build 28, and you can't even pay your civil servant. That's a lie. The people of Lofa County, you're on this radio. You tell the people they should open their eyes. They should open their eyes. We know you want the money, but they're going to come back to you after years. When you vote for them after 3 years or 4 years, then they'll come right back to you again. Election time is right the corner. They will give you everything, but what you expect from our old people? And I was in Liberia. One of the things that get to me, and it comes from our old people. You sit, you explain. They say, my son, we hear you, but what say? You know what you say? You got to put your hands in your pocket and give it to them. But I will say this coming election in the hands of the young people from 19 to 35 years old. We got more young people now who are going to register because our old people don't fool. Look, we shouldn't waste our time. Their minds are made up. Whatever they will get for themselves, they will get it. But the good thing, they can't even convince any of the children anymore because the children are even living in that country again, not living in the county. So we all know Sametwe lying. Someone asked me why I post something to tell Sametwe, oh, I'm sorry. I got no reason telling Sametwe I'm sorry. Look, to show that the country is terrible, people on posting on Facebook that say, I wish Sametwe died. Oh, in fact, he shouldn't die. That's how bad it is. You know how many people struggling in Liberia that just swear the finance minister. They're not swearing Sametwe, they swear the minister. They swear in the president. I can't even get a job. I can't get this. And this man do this. All these things, they come and catch up with them. Yeah. And it catch up with them. So we sorry that he's alive. And you understand? That human being. But these guys need to learn. It will catch up with them, bro. Everything that boss said, I watched the video. He's still alive. Nothing. But he there to satisfy the people. He carried money. He used government money. But then what happened today? They say the airlifted him. Where's the driver? Where's the security? They stay in the country trying to get treatment. But Samuel Tour and his wife, they out. That government money they use, or that his personal money. So these are some of the things we're
But
going to be talking about.
it was a charter
But
flight according to
thank
the
you.
news story I read.
Charter flight to where?
Let me
To
say this real
Turkey?
quick. Let me say this quick.
Yeah, to Turkey. Yeah.
You're not talking the Cessna low 3 to 4 seater plane around here that may not be able to cross the Mediterranean or the Red Sea, wherever Turkey is located in that region. We're talking about a good sized plane like a Wiswa, in terms of makeup.
A charter
Remember
flight.
Wiswa
Yeah.
airline? Maybe
Mhm.
something about 20, 30 seater plane. That would cost money. And in fact,
Okay.
it was delayed because they said it was still trying to get those guys, his security guys, passport, according to the story I read. There was a delay in getting the passport. Kimaya was on it, the foreign minister, trying to make sure they would have left Sunday morning, but they had to leave on Monday. Where is Samuel Tua taking money from to charter a plane, even though he's been finance minister for 5 years? Do you know what it means to charter a plane? We kind of sympathize with his situation, but you can see corruption is still speaking. The Liberian government, they didn't come and say, "Oh, we're sending our finance minister," because these guys are not running an open government. The man cannot even tell you how much he signed for the president's trip, even the extension and the additional monies required for the president to stay uh, up to December 18th. Then here comes the finance minister on a charter flight, on a charter plane to go to Turkey. Where these guys taking the money from? Right from the Liberian people pocket, right from those projects, right from, so they only care about themselves. The people are not being paid. Some people, like you said, post it on Facebook, hey, before you die, please make sure we get paid.
You know,
But man,
It's the humor in all of this,
that's
but
too
this is
cruel,
serious
man.
matter,
Yeah.
gentlemen.
But
This
man,
is
for
serious
can I
matter.
beg you, man, please,
Oh,
man,
so
don't take me
I read
there.
some stuff. They said before you die, just make sure we
Monet,
get paid.
I
Christmas
beg
coming.
you, man. I
I'm telling
beg
the
you,
no,
man.
truth.
Beg you,
but he's
man.
right. I saw another one. The guy said, Samuel 12, I pray for you to be alive so you can see good government after your term. But let's say this. And that code of conduct. The first thing Samuel 12 was not even on government assignment. He
Uh,
was on his
it-
own thing.
yeah. He was asked to be a what
A
you
Guest
call
guest
it,
speaker,
speaker,
yeah.
a speaker.
and went
Yeah,
there to talk for George Weah and whatsoever, and they did all these things. But what we're trying to say is, look at the money you spend. You're talking out of the country. I don't know if his security went with him,
all
and
of
they
them,
all
all
out.
five of them,
But
according
guess
to
what? The
rumor,
ordinary Liberian cannot even go to JFK because no money.
and get service.
Ordinary can't even go to no hospital because there is no $20 to put in to pay to register them. You see, it's sad, but we take it for a joke. We make it look as if it's funny. It's not funny. That's taxpayer money they use. And what's going to happen? They will pay charter flight. Now they are high. You see the same lies we're talking about. If this thing is very serious, some people say, oh, he just broke his arm 3 places. What they can do in Liberia. But maybe it's very serious. They had to get him out of the country. You see? And you know how many people are going to bed hungry today, tonight? And he's swearing and all, they swear government. They're not swearing the individual. They just swearing the opposition. They swear the position of that the minister of finance
I
and
think,
take
I
paper.
think, I think Moses. Yeah, let us not dwell on to it. I know you wanted to lay
Yeah,
the premise, but
I just
let's go
wanted.
down to the
Yeah,
crux
let's
of
go
this
to our
conversation.
discussion now. The cause of
Yeah,
our
but
discussion.
I think that the truth here is the conversation here tonight is you are staunchly supporting Alexander B. Cummings. We want to know at this point, with Cummings being the chairman of the CPP, I believe he's still the current chairman since the Hullabaloo. What gains have been made with regards to the ANC and the conglomeration, with ANC being a part of the CPP, the gains they've made to really, really convince the Liberian people and the voters come 2023 that Cummings is the man. And we believe that you have enough information to share and to build a case so that viewers here tonight who there are people here who still wondering whose side to go on. This is an opportunity for you to sell Alexander Cummings tonight. Tell us
Okay.
exactly what are some of the gains, and then you can probably talk about the challenges that he's facing and he's yet to face uh, before elections.
Okay. First of all, Mr. Cummings is the standard for CPP because he's the only one who want to contest. There's nobody from Liberty Party. Musa Belete is the chairman for CPP.
Thanks for the
But
correction.
yes, he's the standard bearer.
Stand up
But
bearer. Okay.
we will be doing it officially, and by default, he's the standard bearer. So, but let's say this: by law, as far as we concern, Liberty Party and ANC are part of the CPP. According to NEC, this register, and that says until Liberty Party is out, we got nothing to argue with anybody. There are no two parties in the CPP, and we also talking to other political parties. And you guys know that there are a lot of people from other political parties who are not member of CPP who only came out to support Mr. Cummings, and they are still like Louis Brown is still member of the NPP, and Toga Mintosh is still member of the LPDP. There are a lot of people who stay in the party supporting. Before the end of December, there will be other parties. There are a lot of negotiation going behind the scene, which I will not just tell you because in politics it's give and take. Nobody going to support you for free. I can't get my party coming to you and say, okay, I will just support you. What about my supporters? There should be something. So let people get that one at the back of their mind. There will be give and take. And even the ANC people should understand it will be give and take. Now, some of the gains, these are some of the gains we're talking about, people coming in and they have seen the goodness of Cummings. Everybody in Liberia knows that Cummings is qualified. All the other people qualify, like Baka is qualified, Joshua is qualified according to the constitution. But Cummings stands a better chance than the two people, one for 2 years, the other one 6 years, going 6 years. One want to back and the other one want to retain. And Ellis Cummings in that middle is not the thing to sell. One is popular for 12 years, one is popular for sport. So Mr. Cummings is in the middle. But all the little town halls meeting we've been having, the little small part, that's what we've been doing. People say, oh, we can see no Mr. Cummings. But that is what we've been doing, a paying off now. Going forward, Cummings will continue to go to programs where you will see people coming. But people will say, oh, Mr. Cummings pay people to come. They can say what they want to say. We're not going to dive into it because it's distraction. Yesterday, I was going to a program, nobody saw me. Now I'm going there, people coming, and then you say I'm paying them. Good. And one of the progress, we from the ANC or supporters of Cummings, we still got in the back of our minds that we consider ourselves the underdog. We consider ourselves, we stay number 5. But today, when you ask a Liberian man, they will tell you, say, oh, it's Joshua, Mr. Bwaka, and Mr. Cummings. That means you just put me in a position, just a one heartbeat to either second or vice. So you see my work, because if you have not seen that work, you will not put me in the third place. But we still consider ourselves number 5. We still consider ourselves 7%. But we are doing everything possible. We are knocking on doors. We are talking to people. We're getting everybody involved. Whether you member of ANC, you don't need to be member of ANC. There are a lot of people who are member of ANC and they support Mr. Cummings. And so Mr. Cummings bring closer. Because you see that politics, you need everybody. We here to change, not to change the people. We're not prepared, or we're not going to change one group for another group. No, we're just going to change the mind to say, listen, yesterday you was this, today you can be this. And anybody who come out to support Mr. Cummings will not even apologize. Although we'll not do business with some people, but we'll not support because you got a voting card. It is your right. And let me say this before. People say Mr. Cummings is good. Mr. Cummings is good, but why he can't Joe go second? Why he can't wait 20 times? Now the people we consider bad.
But I'll hold you to that thought. And good thing you said it. I saw one of your videos where you were in an interview and you said that Cummings should have gone to be senator rather than push for the
No,
presidency.
I never said senator. I never said it. I can challenge you that video.
Sure.
No, the only thing I can remember I said right after the election, I said I would love to see Mr. Con Boaka ticket. It was after the election, one guy they called Prince who were running that show. But I will be honest with you, Mr. Boaka was not contesting. So
I
there
have the
was
video
nothing
here
for.
where you saying
Yeah,
that you
I
said
will
that
show it to
you
say
said
Mr.
that
Cummings should be senator.
yeah, you said that
What?
Mr. Cummings. I can play the video. You said
I
that
want
Mr.
you to play
Cummings.
it.
You said that Cummings should
No,
be senator. I'm coming.
no.
You said that Cummings should be senator
Of which
because there's a
county?
difference. You were on J. Randy Dapo conversation.
No, no.
All right, go ahead,
Listen,
continue.
when okay, let me just. In fact, I want
Yeah,
you to
complete
keep
your
Dapo
thoughts. Yeah.
issue. I will keep Dapo issue for last
No, we'll come to
because
Dapo later.
yes. So
No,
don't
but,
worry.
Just go
I'm
ahead.
just
Yeah.
saying that because you brought this up, and I'm saying that
Yes,
at
yes. But
one
I
point,
want you. I want you to show it. Don't worry.
yeah,
Relax. I relax.
yeah.
I tell people social media is not nothing for you to hide about. It's the truth. So now, Mr. Cummings, people that we consider now, this guy is corrupt. This guy is this. They themselves have seen the goodness of Cummings. People that Cummings were never going to be anything, or he's not the guy. They all coming in now to say, I think this guy is the guy. You know what I'm saying? This guy is the guy, and people are resonating to Cummings. People on
So
Facebook might say, "Oh no," but people are resonating to Cummings. We're making gains. We're not saying that we got more, a lot of work to do. We got more work to do than how we consider ourselves. We got to push. Some people coming with different intentions. There are people coming, but we got something called security on security. So we want to tell people, don't waste your time. Just how you coming in, the next man behind you checking on you. I can tell them, please, blend. We just
so
told some of them, say, don't waste your time. You don't need to come around because we know where you're coming from. We did that already. So Mr.
so
Cummings is making gains, and people are coming to the CPP, and you will see other parties coming in.
so Mr. Kisheng, in terms of games, if you were to rate the popularity of Mr. Cummings in Liberia, how would you say broad base is the ANC and Cummings' popularity in the country?
Right now, you will not like to hear that answer because
Mhm.
it's not something that people see all the time because
Yeah, go
they would
ahead.
not like to see that. So Cummings is around 64% for what we know. Cummings got a very good base in Nima County, a very good base in Nima County now. Cummings got a very good base in a lot of counties and in Monrovia. People who are, you see, I say this because of people who I talk to, people who I know that are supporting this government. We inbox me and say, please, I beg you, don't put me on record. But y'all keep up doing. If they come to one-on-one and Mr. Cummings and this guy, the president, trust me, I think this time around we'll have to make that decision. So they're saying it. I will tell you, and other people have said it before. I saw a thing where they say Cummings is almost in the 64, but people shouldn't overrate or underestimate Alex Cummings and think that he's not. If an election is held today, if anything that Joshua are going to win election, I don't know where they're living. I don't know. I'm not speaking for any other political party. I know we have different oppositions. We have already decided. For me, I say, listen, if we don't get into that, and whoever get there will decide and make that decision. But we are must go, must vote against him. There is nothing left with President Weah that he can turn Liberia around to solve our problem. No way.
All right,
No
so
way.
let's run quick to that clip. Again, I don't think it was anything big, but I just thought that it was something you said and it was important. Maybe you had a reason for it, and that's why I wanted you to reflect and see if your perspective has changed from what you're saying. But since probably you don't remember, but here is it.
We're not hearing that. We're not hearing that.
Are you
No,
are you
it's
saying
not
you're not
coming
hearing
through.
it?
No, it's not. Are you
All
hearing
right,
the Monique?
No.
No.
hold on.
You sure you're not mute?
Maybe him. I
Hold
know.
on, hold on,
I
Yeah.
hold
heard.
on.
Yeah.
I heard it first, but
problem. So when you get into it,
Okay. I'm
not
gonna.
everybody can say it. Not everybody can have wisdom. Some people just put the look. Some people don't want to
Hearing
even
it now?
settle.
Yeah.
For I put something on the internet. I say, why Cummings cannot contest the senatorial position? Everybody got pissed off. And then I made a comment. I said, listen, working in a corporation and to control a government are two different things. It's not the same. Yep. Corporation, you want to do everything to make profit. You don't give a damn. When you pass the law, you pass the law. But in government, they got three branches. One little statement you made might kill a lot of people. Yes. Or might help them. So when you get into, when you start from even a local organization, when you work your way up, you understand how people live and how they understand things.
Yeah, but I
So
did not
yes,
hear. I did not hear him say go as senator.
Let me tell you something. Let me say this. Let me say this. No, let me say this. He edited. I will try to look for that video and play it.
hold
It
on.
was. In fact, let me say this. Let me
Let
say
me
this.
hold on, hold on. Let me play it one more time, please.
Yeah.
Let's do this. This is not
Yeah.
about pen improving.
Not everybody can say it. Not everybody got that wisdom. Some people just put them. Look, some people don't want to even settle for. I put something on the internet. I say, why Cummings cannot contest the senatorial position?
Okay.
Everybody got pissed off.
Okay.
And I made a comment.
Okay.
So yeah,
We
play
got
it.
it. Yeah, we got it. Yeah. Go ahead,
Okay.
Mr. Kishan.
Let's disregard.
What?
Let's disregard what editing.
No, 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 no.
Let me,
We
no,
can.
hold on.
Okay, no, it's not edited. It's not. It's
Yeah,
not
go ahead,
edited.
Mr. Kishan.
Let me just
I
say,
can speak on that.
yes,
Yeah,
that's what
go
I'm
ahead.
saying. Maybe it just requires a recollection. And the
No, no,
reason why
yeah.
I wanted to ask, I told to ask the question was because you may have seen Cummings' first loss as he not putting himself in the picture through the Senate like we are did, which was also a help for him to understand what it means to go to the polls to be voted for. Because we are was running against Robert Sirleaf, Prime Minister of Liberia under the Ellis government. Money could have done anything for Robert Sirleaf to win the elections. But still, we are triumphed and went in the Senate. So maybe you were speaking from that perspective that maybe Cummings could have put his name in the electoral process through the Senate ballot rather than running to the presidency as an unknown person. Maybe that was the context where you were speaking, and that's why I thought to understand what changed now. That was why I
No,
asked the question.
no. But I made that statement. I posted. It was an conversation that took place on Facebook, and I posted under the person why Mr. Cummings can go as senator. It was after
Oh,
the election. It was
okay.
after the election,
Okay.
and people started coming for what?
Yeah,
For what
why
reason?
didn't he go
And
as
I
Senate?
even told them for sort of reason that corporate world is actually not the same with the governmental world. But you see, in life, we all grow into things. I
Absolutely.
said it the other day after the election. It was the first time I went on Randy's show. In fact, he blocked me after that show because I told him, I said, why are you insulting President Weah? And from that day, he myself never communicated. But I said it, I was explaining to him. I said I posted and everybody got pissed off with me. But I was one of the person who, and the way I see it is how I say it. But Cummings have proven himself to me over the years because I also said I would love to see Bwaka and Cummings ticket right after the election. I said Bwaka go as president, Mr. Cummings go as VP. It was Prince and myself before I even get to know. But then when I saw Alex Cummings going around the country, I said, this guy's changing things because I thought he was going to leave after the election, go and sit back and come back to the States. But then I saw this guy going from counties to counties, talking to people. So, hey, I changed my mind. I went to I said, no, 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 this guy, he knows exactly what he's doing. And I even asked Mr. Cummings that same question. I said, why you don't want to run for senator? Because when you're talking to someone, he said, running for senator, what the impact? I'm not looking for a job or two. I'm just going, and I would want to do the right thing. If I'm a senator, I don't need to go work for another people or leave my senatorial job and be on all the different boards. But going for senator, what the impact? You need 30, 16 members to pass something. So I'm not going to stay in the Senate, but I believe that I know and I retired. That's it. But all that time, I believe that Cummings were going to leave Liberia. Cummings proved to me that since then, he never worked. He never went back to take his job. So, but I said it. I posted. If I was just explaining to Randy because somebody was on there saying something, and I just got pissed. But why you can run for Senate? for the senator and for senate position. But
Okay.
my mind have been changed. So you see, I stay upgraded it. I believe that at that time, maybe he rushed into it. But after a while, I'm convinced that he was going to waste his time. He was going to use money win in Maryland to go where in Maryland. Then I got to understand gradually from 2016, 17. Now, there's no way I can even say, in fact, I defend that any day that he got no right even running for senator.
Okay.
Let me quickly go
So
to intermission, Moses. It's 8
yeah,
o'clock.
sure.
We
Hmm.
quickly want to remind you you're here in the issues room. This is our 108th edition. We're featuring Monier Kishan, the general, a staunch supporter of the ANC standard bearer, Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings. He's here to make his case for Mr. Cummings. We'd like to welcome Victor Hardy, Ram Snodden, Emmanuel Jackson in the house, Oretha Zina, Fatih Sirks or Circus, if that's right. Eddie Weir, good evening. Welcome to the Issues Room. Our great friend and brother and the extraordinaire, Mr. Thomas Awaji, who is here with us tonight. Again, we say thank you for joining us, Flomo Livingstone, Mapu Hall, Monkan J, Sunshine Chie. Bring the sun out tonight. We like to see some sunshine. It's cool out here in Philadelphia. Mike Bling Wong, thank you for joining us. Richard Harmon, Tony and Brooks, Alex Nimley, Yvette Cephas. Been a long time, yes. Good to see you back. Marilla Moore, Roger Gibson, and all of you wonderful people, including Yesendi Martin Queye. Thank you for joining us here tonight. And Agnes Barkley, here with us, Frederick Monyu, and Thomas Harvey, and Flomo Livingston. Good to see you guys. You continue to share the link. The numbers going up, and it's good conversation here. We hope that you hang with us. We have another hour to go. At in the next few minutes, we'll be opening the lines. Let me give Moses the opportunity to reach out to Monique right now, because I have
Yeah.
one question for you, but I'll let Moses
But
go.
yeah, thank you, Volcano. Mr. Kishan,
Yeah.
you said based on your own assessment, based on the work you guys have done, you think Mr. Cummings has been able to cover 64% of the country in terms of reaching out. So now let's look at some of the challenges with the CPP and Mr. Cummings. When you came in, you made a very strong statement. You spoke about honesty. You said anyone who wants to lead must be an honest man. And I'm asking this question because in recent time we have been seeing a lot of podcasts and posts out there emanating from Mr. J. Randy Dapoor, a one-time strong heart, a one-time supporter of Mr. Cummings. Whenever you spoke to Mr. Randy, Mr. Dapo, everything that he uttered was Alexander Cummings, Alexander Cummings, Alexander Cummings. In recent time, he has flipped. He referred to Mr. Cummings as a blatant liar, a man who says one thing and does the opposite. So I want you to tell our many listeners tonight, since you spoke about honesty, is Mr. Alexander Cummings an honest man, or is he a flip flopper?
He's one of them honest men that I've ever met, apart from my late boss man who is dead now.
Mhm.
That I know he's very honest and he has his belief that he cannot change on what he believes because of politics. Maybe that's why he even try to get people in the space. But I want to say this before I go on. I know some say, "Oh, Munir, I never lied about it. I said it," and he explained. So I want to say, I apologize for the tape, but I was not saying it. I said I posted, and that's how I explained. So for the audience who type in that you lied, you apologize. If that would make you feel good, I'm sorry, but it's not anything. At least I'm still supporting Alex Cummings. So you know, it is a shame when I see people like us who support individual. Nobody on Facebook they say, oh, I was on Facebook supporting George Weah. I supported George Weah behind the scene. I did his video, I did pictures, I edited his football games. That was the relationship between us. I was never of ANC. So George Weah, like a friend, he called me Mooneybo. So in fact, he would tell people today the relationship between George and myself those days is not a relationship with Monk or Rodney or all the guys to get on a plane, go play football. No, it was strictly of friendship, and he respected me and I respect him at the time. But still, I believe he was not the right guy. This man you're talking about, I'm sorry that you called his name. He supported George Weah 2017. He never met George Weah in his life. He knows Ellis coming and what his name, Twe. He met George Weah one time. They brought him to Philadelphia, and he said all kinds of things. To his belief, he believed that he gave George Weah the victory. When every Liberian knew that unless George Weah didn't want to win, but George Weah was going to win anyway. Then come after the election because he wanted the environmental position where maybe George Weah did not give it to him. In 4 months, the I got on that show. In 4 months, he started insulting George Weah. So I came and I said, listen, please, man, give him a chance. I'm against George Weah. I gave him George Weah a chance. I'm not going to argue and say anything but George. And he was still insulting Alex Cummings and Joe Boaker. After a while, boom, he went to Joe Boaker. Then cursing Alex Cummings and cursing George Weah. He went to Florida. Maybe someone paid his way, but he would tell you that someone paid his way. But I know he went there on his own, and he was lucky to meet Alex Cummings. He sat with Alex Cummings, and I would tell anybody, if you give Alex Cummings a chance to talk to you one-on-one, you will get to understand who Alex Cummings is, unless you're not a smart man. He came back, he started running with the Alex Cummings thing. Everybody called me. I said, oh, I'm going to tell you, I want to know how long John stayed in the army because he tries to soon get tight. And I said it. I said he tries it will soon get tight because he make it all about himself. We started 2016. It took me 4 years, 5 years to say, Alex Cummings, how are you? Because I got to know about Alex Cummings than not to know Alex Cummings because that's my policy. If I want to know, it's better for me to know about you than to just know you before I support you. But it was all about him. I got the big strategies. He texts Mr. Cummings, he write Mr. Cummings. But what he don't understand, people will ask, Munel, what you say about this man? I said, listen to me. I don't trust Randy because Randy insulted me for the same Alex Cummings against Boaker one-on-one on the telephone. And he blocked me. When he leaves me, I block him. And today I block him. So I don't want to waste my time. He's someone, I'm not saying that he's suffering from it, but he's acting like a man who's suffering from bipolar disorder or whatsoever. You got your degree for you and your family. It's not for me. Even your child, your daughter, or your son will not even take it and keep it. So you continue to insult this man. So are you. The Liberian people look at you like a joker. Today you cause Boaker, you cause him Mr. Cummings. Then who are you going to support? You can't go back to CDC. We need you. Go back because you're not voting. I will vote in Liberia. I got a Liberian license that as a state valley, I renew my license again. I will vote in Liberia. He will not vote because he's scared to go home. You're asking when the last time he went home. It's about him. He confused. He's a confused young man. I will not call his name here, but that dude is confused. It's going in his head because he spoke to Ellis. I get text messages here that Mr. Cummings will text me sometime in a week and say, thank you, Munel. I saw your text. Not because he asked Mr. Cummings, he should call me. I'm not in it for Cummings. I'm in it because of Liberia. But I want for the young man to know he's on the wrong side. And everybody going to laugh at him. He can't go back to George Weah. In a security sector, if you betray the people, you can't go back. You are security risks. So let it just be part of the disenchanted sedition.
But that's not what we're gathering right now. The brother is also already propagating the agenda by saying that Ellis Cummings is a dishonest man. He's a dishonest man, rather. He lied about his citizenship. Those are some of the propaganda he's putting out there.
Okay.
Ellis Cummings cannot answer the question directly about being a citizen. How about Ellen Johnson Sirleaf? How about George Weah, who holds multiple citizenship? How about the many people in the Senate who holds multiple citizenship? ministers in the government who hold multiple citizenship, all of these things. But my point here is that Liberian people are ignorant, and majority of them, not all of us. And when they hear these kinds of things, and Randy know how to turn, sell ice to an Eskimo, and the way he making the noise, that has a potential to change the trajectory in some ways. He also mad about Louis Brown and Toga Gateway McIntosh coming to the forefront of the party. That was my question. How do you feel about that? You as a
I
Stone supporter, do you think
listen,
Cummings is going back and treading the wrong path if he's now bringing some of those people who should be retired, be silent, but bringing them back in the forefront of the ANC? What's your take on it?
okay, before I go to that, let me get back to what you talk about, Randy. The first thing, Randy should be ashamed of himself to put a passport that you never had before. To put Mr. Cummings' passport out there. The only people that will want to look at it in Liberia today, nobody hearing the nonsense that he's talking about. The first thing, no one can tell you that they have seen Mr. Cummings' American passport or with American passport. If that was the case, Sereno Cephas was going to publish it. So I can come on Facebook. I'm good in computers. I can change anyone's face. I got software on my computer. I can take a passport and put another. I can either photocopy another person's passport and put a picture and say this is the passport. We're not stupid. That all the time trick. So he shouldn't waste his time. Oh, Mr. Cummings, that citizen, let him go. Say he went to school, read a constitution. Whether we went out there and we naturalized, no one can stop us to be a citizen. No one can take our citizenship from us. Now, the man he supported, I can tell you, say, but the man get 3 nationality. So if Ellis Cummings get 2, then what a difference? But he is saying it. Ellis Cummings got a Liberian passport that he traveled with to go wherever he want to go. I don't know any Ellis Cummings whether he got American passport or whether they say he's American. We all begin American based on the situation. There are so many of us. That mean I'm not American. Let Tim Weir, we consider him American. Alfonso Davis, I'm sorry, Liberian. Tim Weir, Liberian. So anyone who's saying that nonsense, look, the man is like a guy on a high sea. The ship capsized already. He's trying to drown. So every little straw that pass by, he will hold it because he's drowning. Look, I will tell you, my brother, I own radio in Liberia on Sunday and Thursday on the Liberty Radio. People call. The thing I see on Facebook, they don't talk about it. Everybody talking about bread and butter issue. Everybody pissed off of what President Weah is doing. So when you come on Facebook, the 10% are watching us now. They can say, man, don't waste our time, man. That is like that the Facebook people. So I can come and put someone picture and say the person doing this. All that thing, that distraction. What that young man won, and maybe I'm not going to call his name. And I wanted the person who told the point ANC said, do not argue with him. 1 second cause noise. He bailing to, and they will send a post. And when I look at the post, I can see the response from people, the negative response to say, my man, something wrong with you? Something wrong with you? So I'm not here to come dignify that young man. Let him stay in his own world. But let's go to Mr. Cummings. Let's go back to Dana Chair or the whatsoever.
Open the line.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what
But let me tell you this today. 85, I will just put it, I might not be accurate. 85% of our people into politics today, they are corrupt people. Very corrupt. No one will go into politics and think that you want to develop a new group to defeat the ones that are there today. The ones we call criminals, we are the one who prosecuted in the public court of opinion. They have never been prosecuted in court. Now, in Liberia, people consider them as heroes. Mr. Cummings, stay across the river and think that you will change Liberia, you waste your time. You must come in and talk to people. It's not about changing the people. It's not about changing one group for another group. It's to change the mindset. Mr. Cummings is saying that I won the war crime court. I will prosecute people who steal from this country. if the auditing, we're not going to witch hunt, but if the audit goes to your door, that means you there. So if you supporting me, it got nothing to do. And these people say they want war crime code. They sat and they say they don't see the goodness of that. It's like you went to church yesterday and you're a criminal, you're a murderer, you go and give your life to Christ. The good people sitting by, they know that Mr. Cummings is the best. They know very well. They don't want to support him. Now the other guy that we said too bad, he has said sat down for long. He said, the mayor that good man, oh, I will support the man. Nobody went for Toka McIntosh. Toka McIntosh could stay in CDC and just play dumb and get big job. Even the Louis Brown, when they brought him back, he was supporting George Weah. He could have got a job. But they all noticed, I said, listen, Daniel Chair was supporting Mr. Bwaka. They gone election. In fact, there's a post about Daniel Chair that he gave a whole long thing about George Weah will be the wrong person. So we should vote for Mr. Bwaka. But today, because he supported Cummings, and we will not apologize to no one, we accept that endorsement with P and D. They got voting cards. They voted before. So if the war crime code that we bringing, even my brother who was friend with Charles Taylor, and he part of it, he will go justify if anybody call his name. So Daniel Chair, we can bring anybody to be campaign manager. But what we do, you have to know, Mr. Cummings announced Daniel Chair as the campaign manager. Mr. Cummings made it clear. It goes from this, but it mean that when the first name at the top, that means my manager. But Mr. Cummings, lad, the team is a big tent. And the good thing, Daniel Chair, this guy is still a member of NPP. Daniel Chair is still a member of Liberty Party. Toga McIntosh is still in the LPDP. They ain't joined Mr. Cummings' party, but they're supporting Cummings. Wanna stay with a Unity Party. So the tent is a big tent. We might not like about it. So in fact, Mr. Cummings told us in the ASC, he said, look, people will support that you will not like. In politics, it's not about Mr. Cummings bringing his resume to the librarian post, say, oh, I will call her at this, at this. If that's the case, if that's how they're going to do it, we're going to just take the librarian and chuck it in Mr. hands. But in election, we got to support. Look at you see Natalia Margate today. All the way they say he criminal, he see, and you see the people running behind him. So you want us to go manufacture new group of people, and then we say, but who the other guy here? We even know the guy. But the other men are campaign managers for Mr. Cummings who do it. People were expecting for Cummings to take a people from America. Now he took the people from Liberia, the vest. So Mr. Cummings said it. He said, look, let me tell you one thing. Mr. Cummings said again. I think he called some names on a show before. Mr. Cummings gave me 10 names. I will not call all the names so they can be frisky to say maybe they'll fire them tomorrow. But I will call 3 that he himself called. He called it 10 names. He said, I can close my eyes any day and appoint these people. At that time, what he said, Councillor Tiawon Gonglo was not in the race. He said, you see Tiawon Gonglo? He said, you see Nibani Warner? He said, you see Gafuan? He said, but Liberians look at these people as if nothing. He said, but if I win election in Liberia, it will be a tsunami. And nobody in America should think that I will just call you to Liberia and work and take a position unless there's nobody to do the job. He said there's good people in Liberia, or men telling us there are good people, honest Liberian in that country. He said it boils down with the president. And I believe it. The president is the one who can stop corruption, who can instill discipline. And if you do not want it, don't vote for him.
All right.
Mr. Yes.
So the number is posted now, 404-272-2808, 404-272-2808. Call the issues room here. Be a part of the conversation. Let's engage Mr. Monir Keshan, the general who is making the case here for Alexander B. Cummings. Listen, I think what is the truth here is the platform is here to give every political candidate, or how you call them, stand-up bearers, opportunity, meaning through the surrogates, through the propagandists, to come here and make the case. Because we've invited CDC, Constance,
the chair of CDC USA.
Constance has been here. Yeah, Dwop, who has been here. So this is an opportunity for people to come here and make the case. Because listen, at the end of the day, Liberia come first, my people. So
So,
let's take this caller from 5282, California. Is the state. We'd like to welcome you. Welcome to the Issues Room 108th edition. We have Mr. Monier Keshen, the general here from the CDC, a supporter of the CD of the
of Mr.
CPP.
Cummins,
I meant to
the
say the
ANC,
CPP. Too many C's in this thing, man.
C, okay,
The C,
CPP, please.
the
CPP
CPP.
and
CPP.
ANC. Welcome, my brother. What your name?
Thank you. It's SB calling from Toronto, Canada, by way of California. I know my number says California.
Okay.
Always,
All right,
I'm
SB.
back. But thanks for having me on the show. To your co-host as well,
Thank
and I
you.
want to say hello to Mr. Kushan. So I'm a supporter of Alexander Cummings, and I support Mr. Cummings because I believe he's a man that will lay the foundation when we talk about empowering our people, economic opportunities, and holding people accountable. Those are the core reason as to why I support Mr. Cummings. However, I think you gentlemen can agree with me when we say that politics sometimes, or most often, is about optics. People judge you based on what they see. People judge you based on what they hear. And Mr. Cummings, from the onset, you know, ran his campaign and his introduction to Liberian politics as someone who is coming from a different cloth, someone who has not participated in the ongoing corruption and all of the various fiasco that we see that has been happening in our country since the Civil War. So, as a supporter of Mr. Cummings, and this is my question to you, Mr. Kushen, if we agree that politics is all about optics, and you said that the likes of Daniel Chie and other individuals who have heavily been criticized in recent weeks about their involvement and not being the quote unquote clean hands that Mr. Cummings has preached about, and we talk about politics being about optics, I for once believe, and I've never agreed with the collaboration of the individuals. Not because I don't think Mr. Cummings will hold them accountable should they be found guilty as collaborators, within the war or within the war crime code. I believe he would. But I think when you look at his message from the onset and what he stands for and the man that I know that he is, don't you think that this move of collaborating with these said individuals have damaged and created a negative impact on the optics of Mr. Cummings, the face of change, the face of having a clean hand and not participating in the ongoing saga and corruption and killings and all these different things that we're seeing in the country? Don't you think that is negatively impacting what he really stands for, his core message? That would be my questions to you, Mr. Kushen. Thanks for having me on.
Okay.
Thank you, SB Dunn. Thank you for your contribution. You heard the question, Monier.
Yeah.
Please respond to it quickly while
Yeah,
we're
thank
waiting.
you, thank you, SB, and that's a good concern. But I want to say this, we in America, we talk about the optics. Oh, people feel this way that because you walking with a criminal in the street, so you're a criminal. People say that all the time. But let me say this: it's politics. Mr. Cummings will not manufacture a new group of people. That's the country we meet. That's the country. The good Liberians in Liberia, they don't want to be in politics. They're sitting on the fence. Maybe you're living by the politics. Me, I'm hustling right now. You have to deal with them until they can wear away. It's like a pipe. As the water going in, all the dirty water will come. It happened with Barack Obama. The first time he ran, he lost. He thought he was so smart. The mayor of Chicago called and said, "My son, if you can't mingle with these people, you waste your time." Mr. Cummings came the first time. He refused to some people. At the end of the day, what happened? You got to work with these people. The people that you think are corrupt, they are heroes. They got substance behind them. So you can't just look at someone. If anybody can tell me there's a record that these people were found guilty of certain things, we found them guilty in the public court of opinion. We say, "Oh my man, you corrupt, man. This other person corrupt, man." And Mr. Cummings said, "You coming to join this tent? These are the rules of the tent. You willing to join? You can join." Mr. Chair, you want to be this? They are not cabinet minister, and Mr. Cummings will say this thing every day. Joining this thing got nothing to do with whether you cabinet minister or whatsoever. Even the parties that will be presenting names, if Mr. Cummings president tomorrow, You will present 2, 3, and he will do the choosing. If you present somebody, let's look at his track record. You go into a new business or company, you might let some go. You will keep the old people. Some people who are doing bad yesterday will be the
Let me
best.
just tell the caller
So
to hold.
I
The
understand that,
the
but
caller just hold. I will
politics,
come to you. Go ahead.
politics is. I understand the put up of optics. That in America we can talk about it, or because we own Facebook. But in Liberia, my brother,
That's a
Daniel
different
Chair,
reality.
Daniel Chair from Grand Bassa County, he got people say in NPP. Toga Macintosh got him 2, 3 people behind him. So if we just look at them and say because they own, we're not there to change people. And Mr. Cummings say every day when you go back, do your research. Listen to Mr. Cummings 2016, 2017 speeches. Change. We're not about changing this group and put it down and bring a new group. No, 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 no. The man who you think was corrupt yesterday could be the best man this time because of the leaders. That's how you change. If your leader is good and you want to work with him, you will walk the fine line, my brother. And that is what we're telling people. He's the
Thank you.
vision bearer, and that's the guy we're looking up to.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
It shouldn't
Good.
discourage no ANC person.
Let me go to the line, but I like to post this quick. The guy says, Peter Kwewie says, why do churches accept monies from criminals? Does that change the work of the church? Or,
That's,
or,
that's
or the church will not the church, because politicians are criminals, right? Government officials, most of them are
yeah.
criminals, and
They're
the
gonna
church,
get $5,000. Yeah.
they're looking up to them for the big offering. The pastor praying for Nathaniel McGill, to put him blessing on his head. And the
But
monies that Nathaniel McGill going around for prayers, that money he worked for overtime, that money he looked at or honest.
man,
Let me
my giving it.
oh my man,
He,
listen, I
he
can't let
never
that
get offering before in his life. Now he can get offering.
yeah, that man not going to send it. I would do everything that McGill not going to send it. River says Pro, good evening, welcome, my brother.
Yeah, yeah, thank you very much for
All right,
having me.
hold on
Volcano.
quick. Let me put this caller in queue. The caller from 3447. Please wait. I'll come back to you. 3447. I'll come back to you. Go ahead, River says. River says Pro. Go ahead.
One second, buddy. Let me make it.
My man,
Hello?
you on the clock. You trying to do something?
Yeah, I know, my man. When you tag me,
Go
yeah, we
ahead.
came for break late.
All
Yeah,
right.
but thank you very much for having me. I got one question for the general. There was a thing that Randy shared on social media of the general admitting that Cummings wasn't ready for political office and that corporation was different from public office and that Cummings did not have. I'm not sure. I can't tell exactly which year that recording was, but remember, social media we're in the 21st century.
Man,
Anything
we
we say
already
or do
covered the thing.
is
We
because.
already covered the
Oh,
thing.
If you
oh,
look at if you look at the beer on that video, you know the year.
Hold on. Fast on the S.
In a
Fast on
long
the
time.
S.
But no,
I mean, I got nothing that because I never started the show. But anyway,
Okay.
look,
Okay.
I will listen to the after one,
yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah. But
All right.
So
I
anyway,
got
thank you
another
for the
caller
show.
in
Thank you for
queue,
having the general.
Moses.
Okay.
Let me take that caller quick.
okay.
The caller from 3447, New Jersey.
Yeah, yeah,
Good.
how you do?
You
Yeah,
gotta
Good.
I
speak
wanted
up.
to.
Miguel, you gotta speak up.
Well, how you want me to speak now?
Okay.
Your name. What
Let
name?
me put
Your
this
name,
caller in
please.
queue. Hold on, guys. Let me
Oh,
put this caller in queue. 6494. Please hold. I'll come back to you. 6494. 3447. What's your name?
oh, my name is Theo.
All right, Tio. Welcome to the show. You're following the conversation, your contribution.
Oh, sure. Thank you so much. Yeah, I wanted to add to the question the brother from I think Canada was asking Kishan. Come to look at it, as I was listening to him, I yet thought on when Jesus was on the surface of the earth. He chose he went to Zacchaeus' house, knowing that Zacchaeus was a tax collector. He had stolen all the people money. He sat with Zacchaeus, he ate with Zacchaeus. Matthew too was a corruption man, but he worked with all these guys who were full of corruption. If you read about his disciples, they had corruption in their life, one way or the other. But the point I'm trying to make is that because Jesus himself was clean, he was not part of the corruption. What happened to these guys? They desist from the habit.
Hmm.
They changed.
That's profound.
So if you look at biblical and you look at history, it has been in the past, history repeating itself. When the people came to tell Jesus that the people you settle with, they are sinners, he said, I have not come for the righteous, but the unrighteous.
Damn, okay, it look like Cummings got to make you hear Chaplain. Oh.
Okay?
The thing you saying here is
So,
powerful.
so when you look at the strategy of Cummings, who can he work with? From the time some of us, we started knowing Liberia from those time. We've been hearing about the same guys in around. Now, who is the pastor right now? Tell me that is stealing the Francis Pakla who rebuked Chancellor and did not fear to die. Who is telling the Mother Ducle right now in Liberia who rebuked Doe and did not fear beating? The president ordered the country. The horse cannot speak. They all muted. But yet they come up to criticize that Comey is putting corrupt people behind him. They forget about the main issue. So I just want to tell you out there, support Cummings. Liberia will be great again. We all will make Liberia great.
Thank
He
you.
is the leader.
Thank you.
And let us support him.
All
Thank
right,
you
let
so
me take
much.
the other caller.
You
Quickly from 694
And let
6494.
thank you so much.
Could you lower your monitor a little bit?
694
Hello.
Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Hi, this is T from New Jersey.
Yeah, welcome. You're following the
Go
How you?
ahead,
rules.
T.
We're
Yeah,
doing great.
My ANC brother look good on that show, and he doing fantastic.
Okay.
Very good. I wanted to
Yeah,
answer
the
River.
ANC people.
I wanted to
We'll
answer.
start charging your fees, yo.
It's okay. Just name your price.
We
Put it
Okay.
cannot,
there.
we
Hold on,
cannot
we'll give our price.
lead that
Yeah,
get it.
I
I
want
will
to
send
ask
her
Randy.
bill
I
to her.
want
I will
to
send
ask
you your
Special
bill,
K
madam.
for something on Randy's show. That's something I want to say. Maybe River said hasn't heard. Randy not feeling well. But the two I Riverside should focus on, a president took out his suit for practicing. So Mr. Cummings' statement where he made yes that the lady can dig behind it all the one. The same way when Joria was running. Joria wife released a tip, and I remember that tip vividly. She said like when people will be stupid to elect Joria as a president when the man cannot control his own finances. If I'm lying, people out there, they not hear that tip, they would say, so Mr. Comey working with all these people, that the people he met in the country and the Liberian until they're guilty and they're not serving the time. So for now, innocent until proven guilty, the Liberian will work with them. We change the country. All of us gotta work together to change our country because the disgrace that we're going through right now, enough is enough. So Randy posted video and all of that. Randy now okay, we understand. He angry. Well, he'll be all right. So, Mr. Kishan, do a good job and you've been fine. Mose, you can keep Randy for boycott. Thank you.
Randy will come out and say to the ANC, man. Imagine taking a break. You'll leave.
Okay, I will see.
Uh,
Look,
Go ahead, Moses.
yeah, if I can just put this question to you, Mr. Kishan. One thing that Mr. Comey has been able to do for himself, he has been able to come across as the man who continuously tell Liberians that when you do one thing over and over, when you do one thing repetitively and expect to get a different result, that equates to insanity. So I'm saying this to bring you to the point whether Mr. Cummings is a consistent person or inconsistent. Uh, I'm making reference to his close relationship to Mr. Musa Belede. Mr. Cummings is a strong advocate for good governance. He speaks against dishonesty. Musa Belede, the quote unquote
Moses,
chairman of the CPP.
Moses, let me just put a
Yeah,
call in queue. Try to hold
yeah.
on.
Mhm.
Caller from a 8737 Rhode Island. Please stay. I'll come right back to you. Caller from a 9701. Please hold. I'll come back to you. Moses,
Yeah, quickly.
close
So
your
what I was saying is that Mr. Cummings' close tie with Mr. Musa Belete of the Labour Party, the quote unquote chairman of the CPP, is public record that Mr. Musa Belete is a man with staying character. He's a very dishonest man. He failed to account for the National Road Fund, more than $4 million. There are other reports that speak to that. Mr. Musa Belete, as I
Moses,
speak
I
to
think
you,
everyone knows this story. Just ask the
no,
question. What you want. Yeah, because
Mr.
people
Belete, as I
are,
speak to you, is
yeah.
barred from watching any game organized by FIFA because of dishonesty. And there are multiplicity of reports that link Mr. Belete to dishonesty in Liberia. How can Musa Belete be a friend of someone who promises to fight graft in Liberia? How do you reconcile that with Mr. Cummings' relationship and Mr. Belete relationship? How do you explain that, Mr.
Uh,
Kishan?
Monier, just
Yeah,
hold that thought.
okay,
Hold,
let ask that
let me
question.
get
I will put.
let me hold on. Now. Let me get the callers out of queue, and then you can just keep that thought. Quickly, the caller from on 8737 number. Your name.
Yeah, Volcano is me Flomo Livingstone.
Welcome to the show, my brother. How you doing?
Good.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
I mean, I just have a few questions about, to the general. Well, the ASN people, I don't know, I'm confused now. So now all the guys now with the tinted characters are all good now. Because I don't remember, Alosha told, they criticized Bernard Ure that Bernard Ure was a war, supported a war, gave arms to rebel group that killed Liberian. It was not this good. All of a sudden now, all the other guys in that around Mr. Coming, they are all good, right? That's just my question I want to ask.
All right, thank you.
Thank. All
Maybe
right.
you
Thank you,
didn't
sir.
hear the lady who spoke earlier, giving the analogy of Jesus Christ, who
Yeah, yeah. Well, I did hear that. That's complete. That analogy, it doesn't make.
it
It's
does,
not
it
that's
does.
good analogy
Okay,
because those disciples are around Jesus. They not kill people.
how you
They were
know,
not
my man? They
murderers.
said the man came to save, get the people who did wrong. Let me go to the next caller. Caller from 9701. How you doing, caller?
Yes, I'm doing good.
Good, good. Your name?
Yeah, my name is Alexander Nimlin, calling from
Welcome.
Sofa, South Dakota.
Okay,
Yes, you should have watched, follow the show,
thank you,
Thank
thank
you,
see
you.
what
sir.
like you people are doing. But it comes to the point, especially to my general, money kitchen, we follow every night. Even if money come up, the two people, money and Yasini, are most of the people that we follow. Well, the issue that we're talking about today about Liberia, and people are saying, oh, the particular group, they are criminal or this. Who Mr. Kumin, Mr. Kumin came to Liberia to be able to help our people because he experienced life across the globe. And this is the man that are telling us, I don't even need to pay. That most of the people are coming fighting for. They pay for themselves, scared of they facing our country, people building alley, calling it road. And sometimes I feel hurt that some of our brothers, they can't even cross to go to places like Africa to go and see what they call road. To go places like Ghana to go and see what they call road. But our government officials are destroying our country, that they are building road. And today, some of them, when they're sick, they will not be able to be treated in Liberia. They have to fly them from the country. But our poor people are in Liberia who cannot even get a 50 cents to eat a day. These are the same people that are running for celebrating with the people. Because why? Because the condition they find themselves in. This is the reason that some others supporting Mr. Cummings. Because I think with Cummings, Liberia will be the better. With Cummings, because this is a man, it's not about his height, but in decision making. I believe that Mr. Cummings will be the better leader. That after Cummings presidency, people will be afraid to even run for president. I say thank you in communication, continue on the hard work. We're here, we're calling people back home, and we'll do all what it takes to be able to tell our people that Liberia need a better leader. And who is that better leader? I think with Mr. Cummings, he will do better for our country. And also thank you for the show.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you for showing up. Munir, just go from
Okay.
question.
Yeah, I will keep Moses a little last. And
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Comment, Alex, thanks for your comment. And Livingstone, you bring up the same old topic about Mr. Cummings. I don't know which of the killers you're talking about, but we cleared that part of it. All these people are voters. Yesterday, they were supporting George Weah. They supported Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. They've been voting in Liberia. If you have anything, I think Liberians, they themselves need to take these things into their hands. If you think that Dana Chair caused a problem, even there's no war crime code, take Dana Chair to court personally. But why would not even taking that action? I know you might not win, but I would just put you on record. If any of my relatives were to be killed by any rebels, and I tell people, my brother, my biological brother from my empire, supporter of Charles Taylor, I say it every day that if he caused a problem, taking the court or I need a war crime code, if he's responsible for, we're not in the C party, but I love him so much, but we got political differences and we respect each other. So that whole what Mr. Cummings mingle with these people, these are Liberians, these are the politicians. That is how Mr. Cummings met the country. The country is rotting, and we got to work with the rotting people. Thank God that girl and Caroline spoke. Ayo, her name Caroline, because I know her. She speaks with wisdom and she compare it with the Bible. Every disciple that came with Jesus Christ were not nobody from up there. They all had tainted records. They were all corrupt people, and Jesus said, I came for the unrighteous people. Change is not, I will say again, change is not about changing one group of people to another people. It's the mindset, is what you believe in. If they agree, they will follow you. If they don't, they can go and stay on the other side. But these people are seeing the goodness. We will not apologize. We will not apologize to anyone. If Ellen Johnson come out today and say, I will support Mr. Cummings, I will tell her, thank you. Yesterday, she supported me. So the same way you think in politics, it's not religion. The same man who say, I voted for you yesterday will turn around and vote for me too, if my message is good and is resonating. So the pillar of Cummings, infrastructure, the job creation, the agriculture, the health, the education, the last one that I love, government of inclusion. I'm running president of Liberia, not Maryland County, not Bopolu, not nobody. 15 counties, 16 tribes, they are all equal. That is why Mr. Cummings continue to go around the country. So let us live with it. We in America, we don't want to see corrupt people in Liberia, but the people, the voters in Liberia, all they talking, they see it. If you can't convince them why we shouldn't vote for Maggie, they will vote for Maggie. If we don't convince them why they shouldn't vote for Joshua, they will cast that vote for Joshua again. So campaign and Mr. Cummings have changed the campaigning in Liberia. By this time, you will see politicians coming out. But I will say on this show, it's late for a lot of people. We might get 3 or 4 parties running. We're not going to see no 18, 22. Everybody going to start to sneak into different parties for the next election. So that is why I am proud for my vision bearer because of his platform, his ideas. I don't love him because I will criticize him if he do anything wrong. So let me come to Sandy. Sandy, you
Yes.
talk about ability. To be frank, I've actually never seen any document that ability was found guilty in the court of law. Even in Liberia, where they get George, where they who ability stay, whether they were friend before and not friend before, no court found ability guilty. No court. You talk about FIFA. FIFA was the same FIFA that America chased the other day when they indicted Sam Blatter for corruption. Let me make it clear. I've been behind sports for so long. FIFA do not go to court. They have their own court. But the bad thing about it, no country, the competent court of jurisdiction never recognized FIFA ruling. They just give it, they say, y'all go judge your own thing. They judge Belete because the same Delon came out before they said Belete was sore, now he turned to Paul. Belete was the first African who ever went into the first five, challenged FIFA to run for FIFA president. Before they came out, they said Belete misused Ebola money. They came out with a ruling. How much of the money? $75,000. I got a letter in my possession here that Haji Mustafa, the LFA chairman, wrote Belete, telling Belete, thank you for waiving the LFA debt, $225,000 that LFA owed Belete. Belete waived it. The letter I'm saying it publicly is from Haji. I can send that letter to you. I will send it to you and you read it. His company, LFA, were owing them. Belete came out publicly and said, I want $50 million. I don't care how Belete get money, a businessman. He been doing all from interim government time, selling all, riding a BB truck and doing all kinds of things. The money go body can hustle. I would not sit here. Few days ago, few months, Belete was a darling boy of CPP. Belete attended all the meetings for CPP. Yombly never attended one meeting. Belete was the darling boy, the Liberty Party, the UP, the ANC, everybody around Belete. You go this way, Belete say, hey, the men that we against, they men are good, I will support Mr. Cummings. People vex. Delon went to court and told the court, say, but they said Belete corrupt. FIFA find him guilty. You know the court told Delon? He said, no, it's not a record. We don't recognize it because no court recognizes FIFA ruling. FIFA can do their own thing. You can't take them to court. You can't sue FIFA. You can't sue FIFA. One, FIFA can sue you, but they get their own late thing. They will tell you, say, my brother, you wrong, yeah, and you will pay, and that's it. So Belete and the FIFA they can pay him for 10 years and whatsoever. That a business. But there is no paper. We need, I said it, we prosecute these people in the public court of opinion. We just look at you for law and say, my man, the guy damn corrupt. I must say, do the same thing. This guy is damn corrupt. Do we have paper? No. So if Mr. Belete now was supporting Yombly and don't supporting Mr. Cummings, nobody are going to see Belete that he corrupt. But we are proud and I stand with Belete any day to support Mr. Cummings to the end, and he will never disappoint Mr. Cummings because you know what? People cursing already. There's no way he can even leave Mr. Cummings. So for now, he's the chairman, and we will stand together and we'll work together. And I know exactly what he can do, and I know his strength. So he's not criminal.
Let me quickly provide this clarification for you. There's an indictment, LACC indictment against Mr. Belete for the raw fund. Maybe you want to do a little bit of research on that. There is nobody's propagating hearsay.
But let me come here. I understand what you're doing. Indictment.
Yeah, where there
okay,
are,
go ahead.
There are public records that speak to that.
Okay.
Because of Mr. Belete's relationship with the current leadership, the government has chosen to look the other way. If we hire any, effective leadership in Liberia, Musa Belete would have been in prison by now, or he would have been coerced to pay that money that he took. Okay? And then I would like to ask you this question. If you claim that FIFA claim against Mr. Belete is quote-unquote illegitimate, Has Mr. Ability mustered the courage to challenge that legally?
You
Because he's
cannot.
been banned for 10 years.
You can't
Why
challenge
can
it
he,
legally.
why can
You
he
can.
challenge it?
Okay, I just trying to tell you that when FIFA gave a ruling,
Yeah.
you where you going to challenge it to what? To FIFA again?
Go to court.
No,
He
I
has a
just
right.
made it clear. I just made it.
He
No,
has
no,
a
no.
right
I want you to go and do
to
that
defend.
research for yourself.
No,
You
he
do
has
not
a
take
right to
FIFA.
Moses,
defend his
Moses,
integrity.
No,
Moses.
Yeah.
you don't
Go
take
ahead.
FIFA to court.
You're saying that FIFA is not
You don't
FIFA
take
does not
FIFA to court.
Okay.
go to,
No.
you
All
can't
right.
sue FIFA.
Yeah.
That's what he's
They
All
saying.
don't go
right.
to
So
court.
that's something
Now
we
you
should
say
follow.
indictment. You say the indict. You say the
Yeah.
LACC. The
Yeah.
LACC come up with report. You see, let's get this thing. A businessman who owe government amount of dollar taxes. Look, this judge we are government. There is no way you can go free unless you shut your mouth. Nobody will convince me that ability, the airline ability to slap by because on cover people say, oh, he supported Joshua. Don't let nobody fool us. Ability came out publicly say, I'm $50 million. What is $4 million family I can pay? They say, oh, the man owe 250 million. The man can go nowhere. He can leave Liberia. The other day, the man was out of Liberia. You see that? What are the LACC saying that my man, the man owing taxes is under the government. They went to court. The man, they never indicted him. He went to court. They need to come up with a case and say whether he wrong or he this and that. All this thing is all that they say. So LACC coming out to say, John, Mr. Kishan, he was in this ministry and this is the money that got missing. I need to go to court. So this government ability still continue to say, I against this government. This government got to leave. Then Joe, we are in love with him. That a business. That a business. So
Let
as
me
far
just
as I'm concerned, there is nothing that. Yeah.
let
Go
me
ahead,
just say this
Volcano.
quickly, Moses. There's no need for us to dilly down on
Yeah.
this. I think this lady and I listened to her. That's why I said, Cummings should reach out to that lady to be his prayer warrior or the chaplain
A
for the evening.
religious leader. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she should lay the cards on the table. If you look in we as government, there are corrupt people everywhere. If you look in Ellen's government, there were corrupt people. Liberia is just full of corruption that even is ingrained in our society in every
Yep.
way.
Yep.
The banks, the tellers, the guy who's sitting to the desk. You go
Mugging
to
box.
you go to see somebody, man, say, my man, before you see that man, you gotta pass through me. What is small thing you brought before you see the man? So it's an ingrained society of corruption. We can't sit here and say, oh, this person is that person and this person. Uh, caller, please hold. I'll come to you. We got to move away because for us to really get this country going forward, the cherry picking will not solve the problem. Everyone is in this conundrum together. Everyone is in this under this so-called tent we're talking about. Everyone has a stake in the matter. Corrupt stake, good character. You can check the few well-meaning Liberians in Liberia. The rest of the people are just bunch of bad people.
Rotten. So you let them go?
The religious community are divided on issues of conscience to society growth. So it's everywhere, Moses. So Belete, like him or hate him, he's a man who goes. I was in a conversation with Belete. I'm not going to disclose what we talked about, but the man hold his own. So that's what Liberia has to deal with. We say, oh, why is what is the guy's name? Vani Shemo. They always usually say nothing. But what are you gonna do with Vani Shemo if Vani Shemo is one of the legal scholars of the country? You're gonna throw
Yeah.
him to the side when you need his expertise. That that's the kind of country we found ourselves. We've not been able to remove ourselves from these bad people. They're always inclusive. The only thing that can separate us when you say, oh, the other men are down, there
Yeah.
ought to be men who are doing this die. But to say you take that person, you put him away like here in this super society of America, it's almost seemingly impossible because all of these people have the influences. All of them will be needed at some point. I myself have sat and said, but why these people continue to recycle in our society, Moses?
Yeah. We all thought that way. Yeah.
Why? And this thought not going anywhere because what do? We're sitting here in the diaspora. What we're doing, we're conscientizing the people. We're creating the opportunity for people to rationalize our voters, the people on the grounds. But at the end of the day, these people love them, hate them, they are still influential rather. The Prince
Yeah.
Johnson is influential. The Musa Ability is influential. The Vonnie Sherman is influential. The Daniel Cheer, the Louis Brown, all of these people. Because why? The people we have on the grounds, they are the third Liberians that Taylor talked about. The black man, the white man, and the third.
And the Liberian man, yeah.
Yeah, they are the third. I call them the third Liberians. People running behind Nathaniel McGill. People, so what that tells you, Moses, this is the society. So let me take this caller. You're coming quick. Let me just I'll take this caller. Caller, sorry for holding you up about 2838. Make your case quick.
Hi, thank you for picking my call, Mr. Shelton. I want to say hi to you and Mr. Sandy, and hi
Thank
to the
you.
general. The
Hi.
general, you said something that really got to me at this other call. You said Billy was not convicted in a court in Liberia. So should we say that we shouldn't talk about Vonnie Sherman, McGill, and all of that was sanctioned by the United States government? So should we say that it doesn't come in Liberia? Because Billy was sanctioned by FIFA. That's an organization, that's a war organization. We are all in the opposition. If you guys start to look at common excuses and say because this guy supports me, so he doesn't count. And Cheer and all the guys or Louis Brown, all the guys know you gotta support Mr. Cummings today, it doesn't count. So should we say Vonnie Sherman, Nathaniel McGill, or Bill Torre, and all the guys that were sanctioned by the United States government? So it shouldn't come to because they were not sanctioned by the Liberian government? That's one question to you, General.
Okay. Is this Vanny?
General?
Is this Vanny, the guy who spoke that Vanny?
No, I didn't get his name. But listen,
Because I think I'm reading the same post that he's talking about. Okay.
so General, let's put this clear. The word sanction here, okay, can be placed by different institutions. I just
Yeah.
want to make this clear. FIFA sanction is not an economic
Thank
sanction
you. Well,
placed by the Treasury Department of the United States of America. It only has to do with the football issues of the world governing body under FIFA. So when you say sanction, let's make a clarification, and Moses, and I hope you understand where I'm coming from.
No.
I don't want people to equate FIFA sanction to the U.S. Treasury sanction or the United Nations sanction. All of these institutions can place sanction, but for different and varying reasons.
Yeah. But Volcano, quickly, if I could just say this.
I just wanted to make that.
Yeah, I think what the caller is saying is that a sanction is a restriction that one imposes.
Yeah, but it has
So
to be, but again,
so
institutional sanction. Let's put it that way.
So the FIFA sanction is that, hey, Mr. Ability, for the fact that you failed to account for money that we gave you over the years, you will not be allowed to attend any game organized by us as an organization for
But
the
I
next
want-
10 years.
Yeah, but then
So therefore, Musa Ability.
yeah,
Okay?
so hold on here.
Yeah.
Vonnie Hardy, sanction is sanction? No. There are different kinds of sanctions. Sanctions again are placed by institution, by international governing body, by the United States, because the United States have a bigger power. The United Nations, the FIFA. I can even put sanction on you. That'll come out on this show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if you
Yeah.
if
I'm just
you
putting my
come
brother
in, no, I mean honestly, to better simplify it,
Yeah.
if someone comes on this show here
Yeah.
and begin to use profanity at our
Yeah,
guest,
sanction.
Mr. Kishan,
Vonnie
we
sanction
can
is
block
not
you.
sanction. The word
When
sanction.
we block you,
the
that's a
sanction, but
sanction
it
on
can
you.
be-
You
it
can
be-
come
it
back.
It can be for varying
You know,
reasons.
Yeah.
I'm happy that Vanny asked him because I read his post and I was going to talk about it. And
Mhm.
I like the way you guys came out and talk about the sanction thing. But apple and orange is almost the same because they are round. But I think this one is apple and banana. FIFA put a 10-year sanction on Bility. How many years gone by now? He can't go to FIFA organized games.
But I mean, he
They
can go to
even charge him. They didn't say, okay, you got to pay this amount. They do this. And listen, I will look in my phone. I will send it to you. There's a guy from Zurich who were trying to tell Bility that if there was a possibility to go to court, You're going to get good money from FIFA, but there is no way you can sue FIFA. No way you can sue FIFA.
Let me do
FIFA
this
get a
quick.
ruling. That's it. It's finished.
Let me do this
Let
quick.
it go.
Hold
Yeah.
on. Let's clarify this quick. I agree, but it doesn't mean that we should disregard the sanction on McGill and others. Now, listen, the sanction on McGill and others was very clear that monies given to the Liberian government, the opportunity for the country to thrive through business investment. McGill was taking bribes, was usurping the powers of proximity to the president to derail good governance, good contracts for the country. His hand was in dirty deals. America know that monies were being put there were not being used for the intended purpose. So they put economic sanction. So sanction on McGill is different from sanction on ability. And the sanction, you keep asking the question, Vani Hadi, I will put it on you and it will be the issue rule sanction. And then when we lift the sanction off a few more weeks from now, you will understand what sanction is. But I just wanted to clarify this. Let us not confuse this here tonight. Please go ahead, Moni.
Okay, and I just want to answer one. One of your guys said Mr. to show his relatives in Liberia because he don't want Nigeria. And you know, these are some of the things I don't even pay him to because I'm sorry that most Liberians don't even know their own history. That you would think Alex Cummings is a Nigerian or whatsoever. You know, these are the kind of things. And that is why our country going into the mess that we're in today. I want to tell everybody on this show. I want you to go and research for yourself. We got 3 men with flaws. They're all flaws men, but they are all Liberians under the constitution. It is to contest. Read about them. You do your research. It is your right to vote. Go and register. If you're in Liberia, listen to us. Register and vote. Ask the necessary question. I'm not forcing you that you must vote for Alex Cummings, but yes, I'm telling him to you. It is right. If you don't need Alex Cummings, if Alex Cummings don't win tomorrow, we will accept the results. For me personally, I prepare to stand with him and fall with him, but he is the best man. He's the one that I think we started change and will continue to change. Change is not easy. And you in Liberia, we in the diaspora, or you in Europe or whatsoever, this is the difference. One, we are created equally by God. 2, you in Liberia and America. 3, I can go to school. After school, I can get a. In Liberia, you go to school, you will not get a job. In America, time to take pay every Friday. In Liberia, they will choose when to get paid. They will tell you after 2, 3, 4 months, you get paid. In America, if I'm not working, I can get unemployment. In Liberia, if you're not working, you will get unemployment. If I don't have a food, I can go to the food bank. In Liberia, it can never. That is what we're fighting for. You can get a student loan in America. You can't get a student in Liberia. Your politicians are eating the money. They're stealing it. Look at look at Facebook. They say we're getting 10, 20 richest Liberian. Every one of them work in government. Not one to say this man was a private sector man. Everyone went through government. They were broke. Today they are millionaires. Why are you sitting? Is your life better now than 4 years ago? No. Our president is sitting in Qatar, using your money and pretending that he went to see his son. Why are you sitting there? At least he could have put a TV up and say, let all the Liberians watch the game on SKD, say he's a footballer president. And you sitting there and you want, look, you can still support, even the devil has followers. We agree. But 2023, don't get pissed off. Don't blame yourself because you voted for George Weah. 2023, you will make that same decision. Liberians are not stupid people. They say first food are full, second food is not full. We will remove George Weah peacefully. We will tell him that Liberians can understand and know what is good. That 19 to 35 years old, the future of Liberia. Let me give this story. It was this young boy who went to the old man and said, Papa, they say you get wisdom. He had a bird in his hands. He said, oh man, I got a living bird in my hand. Tell me if it's alive or dead or dead. That if the woman said dead, then he will let it go. If the woman say the bird is alive, then he will kill the bird. The woman look at him for long and say, my son, the life of that bird is in your hands. You either you kill it or you let it go. So the future of Liberia is in you and myself hands. You got one vote, I got one vote. The Zogo got one vote. The man who live in Painesville with a big car, nice house, he got one vote. That is why Mr. Cummings is reaching out to everybody. It is your choice. You either take him, we'll not force you, or you don't take him. You want to take Mr. Bwaka? It's up to you. You want to go back to the past, or you want to stick into the past, or you want to see the future? Then you can decide that Liberia will move forward. But 2023, if you don't make the right decision, the world will laugh at us. That is why we're not here because we job. Mr. Cummings could win tomorrow and never call my name. I would not go against him because I know exactly what I want. I want to go home.
I will call you to that.
Relax.
You will not be like Randy Dapo because Cummings in call him there.
But Mr. Cummings too. I've been with Mr. Cummings too long.
Hold on. Let me put my disclaimer. Randy, I just playing with you. Don't get fair with me. I beg you.
But listen, I would not call the individual name, and it is his right whoever want to support. But if you get into the we think that one petition jump from party to party, we call them political prostitutes. We the individual. Look, if I come out today and say, well, boom, I come and say I'm going to support George Weah. You know how many people are going to tell me money, yeah, you the man. You know, people start costing me. But what is going to what my integrity, what people about me? People will say about me. Or I come and say I'm going to Mr. Bwaka. I like Mr. Bwaka. But I believe in Ellis Cummings' agenda. I have look, yeah, my morning go spend time. I told Mr. Cummings, I asked him question until he asked me. He said, "You don't you know I sit with people in the car? I gotta say, hey, my man, how's the family? What's going on with you? Everything." Nobody asked him question. I asked Mr. Cummings every question I wanted to know until he said, "When you start up ticks," because I don't want to be afraid of my boss. I don't want to be afraid of people who are going to support. There's nothing you can do. I support you, and that's it. And I believe it. I believe that Ellis Cummings' agenda. And you know, he's the most consistent candidate. Go and look at all his videos from 2016. He will tell you the same thing or upgrade.
Yeah, we'll buy a little bit, a few minutes here, but quickly, you keep referencing the agenda. What the agenda entails? This agenda. What are some of the key ingredients on this agenda? Because there are other political pundits saying that there's no agenda. Everybody comes to Liberia and we with no debate, no agenda, nothing. What is
that you're right, because you see things may happen in Liberia. So when the good ones come,
do you know the agenda? Do you know
I know
on the
Mr. Cummings pillow the platform for Mr. Cummings, the 5 watts and how he broke it down. The first on the agenda is infrastructure. And within infrastructure, Mr. Cummings takes strong priority to electricity. He said he would do everything because without electricity, no business coming in that country. So he put it first. He said we will do everything to make sure that we get electricity, good drinking water, and internet. We know we need roads. Water, you got good drinking water, type for all the things, but electricity. Your hospital, the schools, the internet, they need schools. They need to be using schools in hospitals. So he's take priorities on that. Then he come to, because job creation will be the next where once you get infrastructure going, people coming in, you will create job. He explained that. Then he talked about the agriculture. In fact, he got an agriculture plan, like agriculture concerning fisheries and whatsoever. He talked about it. He said, listen, my first 3 years, so he put himself on record. My first 3 going to 5 years, we should see some progress. It's not about buying fertilizer for farmers as if we do the same thing, get them $1.4 million. No. Then he talked about the next thing. He said, education. We're going to go back to the drawing board. Primary education, teachers training, because it's a garbage in, garbage out. You don't get good teachers. You can't train the teachers. So they're going to spend a lot in that. So, you know, he's not going to take everything like running all over the place. Then you come to healthcare. The healthcare, he talked about primary healthcare. Like you got, I think 5 or 6 diseases that kill people in Liberia, and it's not supposed to kill you. Like typhoid, malaria, people going to deliver, they're dying. We know how to attack all these things there. Yeah. So when you get the primary healthcare, they're going to invest in it, that every little area we have nurses and clinics invest in it. So the short term, then they get a long term plan. And he talked about this government inclusion and all kinds of things. He broke everything down. Read about it. So if anybody say, Cummings is the only man who came out with it since 2016, and today he's increased on it, he improved on it. So you see, he's not going backward. He continued to say, listen, this is what I would do. And how he going to collect the money? He broke it down. He said, first, we got to stop the waste. We're not going to get nobody $70,000 car when we can get a very good car that will cost little or nothing. And people, he said, we're not going to talk about senators going to carry on projects. He said, my wife want to carry on any project, we will raise the money. We're not going to say, oh, says Teresa, you take 1.5 million. No, no, no. He said, it's wrong. He said, and you know, he gave where we're going to take money. He said the resources that we will get our fair share. There are companies in Liberia who think they sign contract with Liberia. The international court is there. We will look at your contract. Some of them have already messed up the track because there's certain things that they're supposed to do for Liberia. They're not doing it. So if you think because you signed 25 years contract, we will take you to court and say XYZ, you fail. So we shouldn't worry, but we get our fair share. And we're not going to start embarrassing our Liberian people. You come, will continue, we run you around. So if there's a flat rate, so he broke everything that, and you know, he's an economist. He know how to, that one, he know how to make the money. He's the first man that ever talked about the budget. When he said, in my first 3 years, the Liberian budget will go to 1 billion, everybody was cursing him. Today, they took it to 780. So go on, go.
That's 780 minutes. You're trying to put
Still, that's what I'm saying is still. And then one thing he said, if you want to, and one thing he said again,
people you're talking about
yeah,
780 minutes.
and he said again, another thing we do in Liberia, you want to beg out there, but you can't even buy that or water. Show to the man that I can purchase my country. And if I want to ask you, you will understand and do it myself. Liberian government, I never purchased one vaccine. They never purchased one thing. But they're begging. In the budget, almost $500 million is from outside.
Okay, so
So there are a lot of things. So go and read about. Even if you go on my page, you will see it. I have changed it all kinds of way. We got all kinds of things. And Mr. Cummings is insisting. He said, listen, we will do what we do. If we will reduce salary, we will cut people's salary, we will do it, but we're not going to damage the common people. And one thing he said again, living wage. He said the people that are doing the work. He said, listen, I mean Liberia. The people take pay today, in about 10 days, everything finished. So a sweeper will enjoy his money. The money there. So people seen it just to stop all the little, and he's serious in corruption. I won't lie to nobody. It's the Mr. Cummings' passion. He said he wants the word minimize. People say, oh, no. When you say minimize, then you tell the man, say, just stay small. But for you to stop corruption, you got to put things in place. You got to get technology. He said that one it won't work. Because Mr. Cummings coming from a war where he sit in Georgia and control the entire coke. So we got to get technology that when you don't pay your taxes, when they look at it, say John Brown, it will take time. He will not going to get it the whole day, but in the first 3 years or 6, in the first 6 months, people will start to understand. But one thing he said, it will be a tsunami. People shouldn't overlook him for that. He's sure that tail lane will be out. He got general for handicaps. He got a whole thing that head up. He said, imagine you go to Liberia, you'll see one wheelchair go to Abidjan supermarket. He said, I see it. No wheelchair going there. Speak about these things.
You mean the ramp? They didn't build a supermarket?
No, you got to get wheelchair.
Yeah, accommodation for handicaps.
Yes, they are citizens.
So let me just say this quick before Moses coming.
Yeah,
I want you to
quickly.
pay attention to time, Moses. We'll
Yeah,
leave you here
quickly. I
9:30
just
prompt.
yeah,
Okay.
quickly. I you finish?
Yeah,
You
go
finish,
ahead.
Volcano? Yeah, quickly,
Yeah, I'm
Mr.
just
Kishan,
reminding you.
I just want in few seconds, right? I want you to look at the top candidates, do a comparative analysis for us in terms of commonality and differences and what made Mr. Cummings different from the others. Joseph Boaka, George Weah, Tewan Gonglo, and Mr. Alexander Cummings. Do this comparison for us. What they have in common, what the differences are, and what made Mr. Alexander Cummings different from the rest of the candidates. Go ahead.
Okay. The first thing, every one of them are Liberians and they are qualified to contest, which everybody know about.
Mhm.
But Tier 1 Gonglo, I can't, maybe until we can know whether he contesting. But as far as concerned, yes, he's still going around, and maybe he go back and talk about the three. Now, we got a
No,
candidate
but
from the. Okay,
Tawan is
listen,
a candidate.
no,
Yeah.
no. We're looking at three right now, but I will
Right.
get Tier 1. Tier 1, he's a qualified guy, he's an honest guy. I would love to see Tier 1 on the communist team. I would love to see him any day because people know him. He's a lawyer. I'm not saying that he's perfect, but he tried to be an honest guy. They call him sometimes the poor man lawyer. And but I think that he's late. The time coming in, other people are going too far because he should have started it since 2017 to start awareness. But coming late by this time, coming step going ahead of him. So Tier 1 is still trying to get his foot wet on the ground, which is not easy. You need money, mobilization. In politics, is MMM, money, mobilization, and messaging. So you need all these things. And then again, from the LPP party, I don't know if they can win on their own because when Liberian, when they talk about LPP, the progressive, we know their records. But I'm not saying they are bad people, but Tier 1 as an individual, anybody would love to carry Tier 1 as VP. But why he can go as president? No, he has not done the work because he's late. So that's a good chance. But when it comes to Mr. Weah, people voted for Weah one because he's a celebrity. That was his first resume. And then people say, oh, he like them, he like us. As a poor man, we love this guy. They give so-called lies, and I still want to challenge anybody that nobody will convince me. He never went into a refugee camp to talk to a Liberian. He visited it, yes, in the night and did a little thing, but nobody can show me a picture because by then he was a celebrity. Everywhere he went, camera behind him, but nobody can show it. Okay, we voted for him. It been what, 20 since the war. We look at the record, he don't have the record to run. They continue to show us that he's incapacitated. By this time, Joshua should have been out, but for Liberian people, they don't want war, they don't want any harassment or protest. So we giving Joshua the leeway. So he don't have it. There is nothing, no agenda. He will not get on. They said, you chase a black car in a day, you can't find it. You can't find it in the night. You don't do first 6 years, you can't do it in the second year. That one is out. We got Mr. Barker, who's a decent 12 years. But Mr. Barker still is not running on 12 years record. I still hear people talking about Todd time when he was to LPMC. That's not what most of the train young now. They can't about Mr. Barker. Let somebody tell me about Mr. Barker and achievement from the group of 77, where you have oversight responsibility. And I want to see Mr. Barker taking responsibility of early failures and goodness. So you can say yes, early fail, but this is what fail in and this is what we good because Erin did some stuff too, but they are pushing it aside. So as far as concerned, there is no 12 years record that can convince me. And people who I know want to come back because they were there, they want that chance. Most of the assistant ministers, they believe that, oh, I never saved nothing much. Listen to them. I mean, I can't support Mr. Cummings because it will be waste of time. I won't get no job. I prefer the old man. So we're looking at that thing, dress right, dress. But in politics, it's not dry dress. They put up on numbers. If that's a number business, then we're going to bring Hillary Clinton back to contest, or we're going to bring Al Gore back and say, my man, this person had the highest number. So that whole number business is just a fantasy, just a vehicle. So you won the champion last year, the next time somebody else will win. In politics, it's the no. But Mr. Cummings is consistent. He going around telling the people what we can do together. And this is my platform, and I'm asking you that we'll do this, we can do this, we can do this. It's not for the politicians, it's for the common man, the children who go into school, the police officer. That's the people Mr. Cummings talking about. So I've not seen other people platform, but Mr. Cummings have been going to places. Now we're about to showcase him that what we've been doing behind closed door. That person said nobody know Mr. Cummings, but he's the first guy that visited the entire country before even George we had decided to go on county tour because of Mr. Cummings. We saw Mr. Cummings in Maryland more than 2 times. We saw him in Nimba, Lofa County. He visited everywhere to tell the people, say thank you. All the politicians ran away. After election, everybody can go. But this man is telling us, you vote for me or not, I will live in Liberia and die in Liberia. I will die as a Liberian because he's not going nowhere. He got more property that people don't know in Liberia than even in America. So he's settled. He's not going to buy new cars. He's not going to do this. He's saying that if you don't vote for me, I will live with the consequences. I will do my philanthropic work. I don't hear politicians saying that. I don't hear politicians telling people that if you supporting me and you want job, forget it. Everybody say, oh my man, just support me, or man, with job, we'll do this. But Mr. Cummings is consistent. The other people are not going around. Not because you were there for 12 years and you think you sit indoor, one day you out, and then after 1 month you come out again. Time is going. Mr. Cummings is making a move. People seeing it for themselves. The people say we're paying people, no problem. Mr. Cummings will be in the southeast. He got a strong base in Nima County, very strong base than ever. But 2017 we came fourth in Nima County. We beat Labour Party in Nima County too. 2017, 18 months politician. So we're doing everything possible. So Mr. Cummings stands above because he is the only person that will say, we ain't tried the guy yet, but if Christmas will be good, you will tell me. When you look at the guy's track record, he has set record on this way to be in corporate in America. You to manager just in a group who then I know to say they know your man or pa. So we have tried all the other people. Cummings is saying, give me the opportunity to lead, to serve you. If I'm not concerned about whatsoever, but I want to change things around because we look at Liberians, they go to other countries, they abide by the rules. They come in this country, and Mr. Cummings happened. He abide by the rules. They talking for COVID. The ANC people were vexed. Oh no, Mr. Cummings, he said, The government said they will carry me to that hotel. You go there. They talking to court. We said, Mr. Cummings, don't go. We'll demonstrate. He said, no way, I will go to court. He tell us, said, no. He asked, Cummings, we want you to go with 10 cars. He said to black traffic, would that give victory? No. He said, I see people, we want, going on purposely, innocent people dying, and nobody saying anything about it. He's government. He can't help everybody. And one thing I will tell you today on the show, Mr. Cummings have individual, and he said, I've never talk about it. And now some of us, we don't want to talk about it. I know politician, may his soul rest in peace, that Mr. Cummings pays medical bill because the family came there. I know all they in that place who bear right. When you send all the letters, it take time for them to read them. And I lock a ticket. And when you lock it, Cummings walk on this woman one day and say, this is it. Cummings in Nukutan. Who said, oh, Mr. Cummings did this. I said, man, you can go talk about it. Mr. Cummings, he don't believe in it talking about people who I gave money to. So you see, that's kind of man. He's genuine. I want you to subtract all his money as an individual. He's genuine. The man help a lot of people.
Money USA Cummings, bro. Man.
You have to say Cummings. Okay, let's see. The good thing is that when you Google
hold on. The people in the Liberian, the Forbes magazine and the documentary made on rich people of Liberia, they put Cummings though.
No, because that they deal with politicians. No, let's see. Excuse me. You know what I like about it? The good thing, if you Google, they will tell you how much was his salary and what was his bonus. And then they will tell you the business he's doing, the shares that he got in different, and that man on 10 different boards in America. His university, Clark University, is on the board. He's still on the Coca-Cola board. He's on the Chevron board. The Cummings investment is not a small investment. Cummings Investment Limited is not a small investment. He got a lot of big boys that they're doing it. So, but it's not, I don't like to talk about his achievement, but he's willing to work. I give proud to his wife too for standing by him because she's a good woman. Oh yes, she's the neck. I call her the neck. Okay. And you think Cummings know how to talk, or Cummings, that woman encouraged that man so much to stand by his people. Yes. So okay. I will tell you, I will hope you guys one day will have the opportunity to interview Mr. Cummings.
We look forward to that.
It will happen.
You want to put a boy in your code if he can work it for us.
It will happen. And he not afraid to go to anybody. In fact, he prefer going to people who still got a doubt on him than even the ANC people. I mean, I can call Mr. Cummings to talk to him. What sense are going to make if I talk to Mr. Cummings on my show? Okay. People say, oh man, are the same people, man. And one of those who have, I said, Mr. Cummings, if that chicken soup group says, don't go there. They are Liberians. That's why Mr. Cummings don't go. You saw it in Canada. Some people are getting vests in Canada. Mr. Cummings told them, He said, listen, the people who took the time to come here, why should I feel discouraged because I pay my way and came here and feel Liberians? No, they are Liberians. We have to, in fact, they wanted to postpone the program. He said, no, no, no. He said, I will talk to them. And then we can go somewhere else again and I will talk to them. You see, so he respects everybody.
Listen, we got to wrap it up. Thank you so much. You made a case. I think Cummings will be proud of you. The ANC people will be extremely proud of you tonight. You did extremely well. You made a case. We hope that you will come back in the future. We're still less than a year away from national elections. And Cummings will have to find the issues room. We're not running after him because this is the platform. We are the authority.
They mulatto full of trouble. You see what you just said?
Listen, we discussed
I'm there. We here for everybody.
Honestly, we're open to even President Weah if he finds it in his heart to come here, so we can deal with him.
I beg you.
So,
I beg you, yeah. Let my get kind of first. But listen,
Nathaniel, let him go and make a case so he can be.
I will be honest to you with you, and I think yes, he need to come on the show.
Sure.
And I will just send a text. I'm not saying that he will listen to my text because he got people who control him, and I want to respect that. But I want him to actually come on the show and let him talk to you guys. Even and what about Louis Brown, other people. Y'all can put them in a hot seat. Y'all ask the question. Let them talk. We need everyone. All Liberians, my man. You were in Liberia the other day. Don't mind Volcano. Volcano go to Liberia. You got your own security and all. You got a lot of people flow. But people don't know. Everybody got people in Liberia. All look it.
I'm talking for Liberia. You want to arrest me?
I want shoot all the time. I say you got security.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that.
Okay. Take care, man.
Volcano.
Yeah.
Just in 30 seconds, what message you will leave with Randy?
I just want to tell Randy to take it easy, behave himself. He's not going to take it anywhere. He just only digging more hole for himself and creating more enemies. But I will tell him when Mr. Cummings win, Randy is free. He will still be with Alex Cummings. He can stay at his wonderful environmental position that he won. Maybe if he's qualified to get it, but that's a position that the president can appoint. But let him get things straight. You got to be focused. I'm not supporting Cummings because I see XYZ. It's because of his platform. I'm not in love with him because if he win tomorrow, my family not going to get rich. But I want to go home and don't look over my shoulder. I want to go home. The judicial system. I want to go. Why you think God sent Mr. Cummings to the court to say, wow, is that how things looking? It's spiritual. I'm telling you.
This girl, this team bonge girl, she said you're looking for Randy trouble. She said she's trying to fuel the fire. Steam bonge. This boy not spewing the fire. He giving words of
the truth.
So, hey, man,
to be careful. If he come back again and say he want to support Mr. Cummings, he's free.
Yeah.
Let me say this: politics is not religion. It's not that you're a Baptist, then you won't go to Methodist. You can change any day, anytime to support anybody. That politics right there. Sometimes it's interest, but some take a personal interest, or some people take a community interest, or some people take a broad way, to say I'm beyond. It's the ideology. What Volcano? The show. Y'all sit here every day. Y'all come on the show. Every time you leaving all your little time. They're not paying you, but it's something that you believe in. That was message. You started with how many? 5 persons were watching you. This and that. Today, issue room is all over. You go on YouTube. You see the issue room. That's how it works. So that's what been happening. And today, and I want to say thanks to you guys. Although I'm not running your network, so nobody can. So people can say I won't come on your show. I said to do what they said they want to. I said, my man, don't waste your time. I'm not talking about Alex coming until when the election finish. We'll go back again and talk something different. But anyway, I enjoyed the conversation and that was good. But I want to say I respect you guys. You're being the business. It's not like the other people who say they are journalists. You guys are journalists, and I've been doing my brother Shelton and Volcano for long. So
thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
It was indeed a pleasure having you, man. Thanks for coming. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. But next time, don't be sending, man. Sometimes you yourself to call me to and ask me if I can come.
But for me now, I will talk to you.
I will do all the technical, the angle, all that. Man, the man guy. In the other government, yeah, I don't jump in the man lane. The man does
And
it.
when he come, you be acting like having conversation. Hey, my man, long time, my man, yeah, this and that. I say, look at him. That's something they got. Then we start talking. They say, hey, my man.
Hey, my man, we gotta bring you.
Other
But
gentlemen.
anyway, you
Yeah.
guys have
It
the
was
good
a
day and God
pleasure, man.
bless you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you enjoy.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Yep.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Moses,
yeah,
quickly, man. As we
yeah.
wrap up this conversation tonight, I think I listened to someone who said the minimum wage in Liberia is 24 to 26 cents per hour. If you
Wow.
have somebody making 50 US dollars a month and working 6 days, in Liberia, people work 6 days a week.
Yeah.
People
Oh,
work from Monday,
you,
from
you,
Monday to Saturday.
you know, a volcano. Why you do that? Let's just take it on the average, right? So somebody makes 2.6, which is 26 cents. And,
Uh-huh.
For 40 hours a week.
No, I say 48 hours. You say 40 hours. I said, bro, what
No,
Saturday in
no,
Liberia,
but man,
man?
let's
Okay,
take out
all right,
40
getting the benefit of the doubt. Good American calculation.
for 40. Yeah, 40 hours in a week. You know how much the person earn in a week? $10.40.
Multiplied by
by
4 weeks.
by
$40.
52 weeks. Say by 52 weeks in
Okay.
a year. 52 weeks.
But we're talking, yeah, I said by month number.
Yeah, but Volcano, the man yearly salary is $540.
My man, my man, listen, Steam
the,
Bonge, I'm
but man,
telling you,
the man yearly salary is $540.
Steam,
Yeah.
Emmanuel Jackson, Alexander, Saki, rather Hayes, sorry, Alexander Hayes, Angel Pa, uh, Agnes Barkley Young. I'm calling some of your names because I want you to focus in right now. Marilla Moore, Summers Awaji, Jesse Farmer, Theo Gould, all of you folks here watching us tonight. I know the number kind of declined because the guests left, but I was thinking about this. All of us here have Rosalind Dix, all of us here have an Eloise Page. All of us here have our own views about Liberia. But in this day and age, when life is so difficult to live, and a person is making 24, the prisoners here in jail, that's what they make 10 cents, 15 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents per hour for the job to do in jail. But here's a person who's not traveling. This is in jail. It's
Yeah.
compensation.
Eating free food, sleeping
But you're
free.
talking about no. I'm giving you an analogy here. Please listen to me. I'm not
No,
talking about the food.
I support it. What I say, look, I will in prison. They're not paying no bill.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
But
not
the
paying no
man
bill.
who makes $40 to $50 has to send his kids to school.
Yeah,
He has to transport himself to work. He has to pay his bills, and there are bills in Liberia, my people.
my man buy
He has
food.
to
What are you
put
talking about?
clothes on his back and his children and his family back. He got to put roof over his head for $50 a month. And you have a president spending 2.5 to about $4 million sitting in Qatar in the VIP and enjoying himself, he and his cronies. You have a finance minister who just had an accident but was airlifted out of the country. Now in Turkey, when the healthcare systems in Liberia are in peril, how do you make this case about the elections coming next year? What case can you make? What case can you make? Who's going to be better than the other? George Weah has shown you he can never be better than any other person, even coming from a humble background. I'm not sure about Joseph Barker. I'm not sure about Alexander Cummings. I'm not sure about Tiawan Gonglo. When these people are making nothing but 24 cents an hour, I can walk the sidewalk on my streets here and find 24 cents just picking up pennies off the ground. And this is what somebody works for a whole day. And you take this to be joke, and you sit here and be confused about the situation in the country, and people continue to take sides on this matter. Oh, we are blessed because we're in America. We're blessed because we're in Australia. We're blessed because we're in Europe. We're blessed because we're in Canada. We're blessed because we're out of Liberia. These people don't mean well for these people. The people are suffering. What can you do with $40? $40 is chicken change. That's 4 hamburgers. In fact, they can buy. I bought hamburger the other day. I checked. I said, but the price is going up. $18 for a meal. Fries, a little drink, and the drink said a fountain drink. I don't even like the fountain drink. I just took it.
I mean,
So
isn't that
how can our people survive, my people? And we're sitting here and we taking sides. Oh, we have for 2023. Oh, coming is the next president. All of this doesn't matter because I'm so depressed. I'm so not sure if any of these people can change the minimum wage in Liberia. 24 to 26 cents an hour. My people, this is something we need to think about. Seriously, this is something we need to think about. It's sad. It's unfortunate. It should never happen in a country like Liberia with endowed wealth, iron ore, rubber, fishery, rivers, farms, gold, diamonds. You got a president who got people all in Sano, just digging all over the place. Chinese coming, dredging our river for sand and leaving us with a damaged ecosystem. Go to Cardwell, go to Shuffling and see the depth of damage the Chinese are doing in our country. Because people sitting in the House of Legislature and Senate are taking bribes. And these people are leaving nothing in these cities. I go to Liberia every year. They're leaving nothing in these places. The Shuffling Township cannot show any structure that the Chinese, for the mining they're doing there and the dredging of our rivers down at Barracuda Marine area there, in the Bassa village, right there on the Dew River, dredging our river and selling the sand to us for untold price. What's wrong with us? What's wrong with Liberia? Are we just swoon to the end of this life? Where is this? Is the social commitment to the community, the corporate social commitment to the community? Where is it at? All of the damages. I went on the other side of the Shuffling township behind the administrative. I saw pit, this valley. They've dug the rocks, and they're going to leave all of these places left untouched. I want some of you to go and read the case called the PV Houses case, a true story that took place in Kansas. Where when you go and do mining and you damage the land, the contracts must be where you restore the land. Restoring lands in Liberia, when these people have come and dug up all the place and leave these big pits, damage our rivers. Chinese may even got land in your country all over the continent of Africa, all because they can build a quack building. How much Chinese building are so strong? They think they quit to fall. They did the University of Liberia campus within no time. All of the pin fell off the wall, ceilings falling on the students. I went there. I'm not saying this because I want to create a stir. I'm just worried about people. I'm just worried about our country. What's going on, Moses? I mean, I just thought to look at it from the perspective while we wrap this conversation up. Because if somebody's making 24 cents, Moses, I will not go to bed tonight and sleep in peace. Why you think you and I are suffering? Stain Bunge, Agnes Barkley Yoon, Thomas Awaji, Bloje Corner. Why somebody will call you and ask you for $10 by way of send wave? Raymond Clark, why? Where in the world somebody will call you and say, hey, my brother, just send me $10? Because $10, Moses, that a 1 week pay according to Liberia's minimum wage.
Yeah.
That meant 1 week pay. Tell me, to your good. All of y'all talking here, in your part. All of your candidates you're fighting for. The men are in power. Tell me now. Tell me. 24 cents per hour.
You know, Volcano, this you sum it up, you analyze it, the situation is sad, and it is very emotional having a discussion like this because, like you said, our family, man, you and I know how costly food is. How do you expect a man with a family? He's the only one, he's the only breadwinner in the family, working at the Ministry of Information. If we take him, the Ministry of Information, as an example, where the least pay is $45 a month, and that money rarely comes. How do you expect that family to survive? How do you expect the dad or the mom to report to work 5 days a week and $45 a month? How do you explain that, Volcano? Isn't that why we have so much crime rate in Liberia? Isn't that why we have a high level of prostitution in Liberia?
Yeah.
There's a strong correlation
And people
between what
turn
we're
to
talking
drugs.
about and
People
crime.
turn to drugs.
Of course,
Because
people sell
it's
drugs
hopeless.
to
It's learned
survive.
homelessness.
Hopelessness. That's no life. Volcano, if you went out today, you're talking about going to a fast food center just to grab a burger. Sometimes sitting in my office, my daughter would text me, Dad, can you get me this? Can you get me that? When I stop by at a fast food center, because sometimes she just want to eat something extra. For Canada, I'm spending almost $15. That's the that's more than this weekly salary of somebody in Liberia. And you know what I mean. When you and I take a lunch break, isn't that sad? It's very sad. I don't
Because
know.
here what it is, Moses, the government should set the benchmark
Of
for
course.
minimum wage in the country. And since the government is the most, I say the major employer in the country,
Yeah, the major
then they should
employer.
be
Yeah.
holding
The government is the
those
major employer.
businesses accountable.
Mhm.
Chinese business, Indian business, Lebanese business. But instead of holding those businesses accountable, these wicked lawmakers and officials in the government, ministers, deputy, bodyguard, all of them, they're going and harassing these people. So as a result, the businesses cannot even do anything.
Of course
Because if the
not.
government is not a trendsetter, how do you expect the businesses to follow?
But Volcano, like you said, you lead by example. How do you hold the Lebanese man accountable for underpaying his workers when you, the government yourself, you underpaying the people? Wouldn't that be hypocritical? I have a friend, his wife is a cook in Liberia. And you know how much they pay this woman monthly, Volcano? $35 a month. $35 a month. She goes to work 7 days a week. Isn't that sad? You see how people are wicked? They got Liberian men who do janitorial, who provide janitorial services for Lebanese, for Indians in Liberia. Some of them earn $50 a month. They go to work 7 days a week. They go 8 o'clock in the morning and don't get back home until maybe 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. And then they have to be at work 8 o'clock. But yeah,
But
this
these are
man
the
earn
things, Moses.
$50.
These are the things these are the things the opposition should be making the case for.
Yeah.
These are the things. Ellen King, she was paying people a little more. They say, oh, the woman King, she spent salary. Of course she did. She paid a lot of people free money.
Mhm.
So there's some of them didn't even know they turning around trying to get in government again.
Oh,
Then we all came, he said, oh, he harmonizing, he doing this, he doing that. But the harmonization was for the men at the top. Samuel Tour, how did you get airlifter? If this story is true that I read, airlifter Samuel Tour? Where are you taking the money from? Because you went to a private a call. You serve as keynote speaker.
but
You are not representing the government of Liberia. You are in your own capacity. You spoke in your own capacity. So where
but
you taking?
Volcano,
If something happened to me right now, Moses, let me finish it. If something happened to me right now, I have to be airlifted. I ain't got that money, but it means
it's
the
gonna be at
insurance
your
are
own
on me.
expense. Yeah,
I'm coming.
insurance there.
It means that the insurance on me.
Mhm.
We have to kick in, but I'll have copay,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But what insurance the guy in Liberia?
No
And
insurance.
whose insurance company gonna pay for a flight to go to? They were saying to JFK. They say, my man, that your country here, you in that your hospital, you gotta go to JFK. Yeah, in the country, at some time, provider the insurance can pick provider for you.
Oh, of course. But insurance drives everything.
Yeah. So the
They
point
tell
I'm
you
making
the
here,
kind of service they can
these
pay for
guys,
or not.
these guys take all the money and sit on top of it, and then you paying somebody 24 cents. Mostly, I'm telling the truth. I can get out of my house right now,
No, not true.
walk
Yeah.
up the street, down the street, I will find 24 cents on the ground.
If you found more than that one, man. You found
You
more
know,
than
so this is something that has been bothering me, and all day we sit here, we're talking politics, we're talking who would be this one, who would be that one, who would be this one, who better. Okpaku, you strong, you the best president. You best president when people are making 24 cents in your economy. You best president when you're sitting out in Qatar enjoying yourself. The only blessed thing I like what the people say, no drinking, so he can drink Hennessy. No drinking on the stadium.
my man make it in whatever.
Yeah, no, but at least he can drink Hennessy. I mean, it's sad, Moses. It's sad. We can do all this talking all we want. All we want. The
It's
conscience of the Liberian people, the
it is a
conscience of the
pity.
people that put in power. How much can a man, you can build a 50-bedroom house, you still got to sleep in one bed in one room.
That's it. That's it.
What all this, self-grandiosity, or aggrandizement about? You build 50-bedroom house, you furnish all of them, you still got to sleep in one bed and in one bedroom.
Even that one bedroom that you're going to sleep in is just a little spot.
On that bed.
No matter how big your bed
that
is,
bed.
just a little spot you're going to lie now.
Look at here. The guy said the labor ministry of both lower and upper house. But the labor minister, wasn't that guy charged for criminal activity?
Yeah, Gibson.
Charles Gibson.
Yeah.
And the man found all kind of way to bring him
And
back.
they still confirmed the man.
They wanted the man to be justice minister.
Yeah, they
When all the
confirmed the
noise
man.
went up. He found a way to put the man at labor.
Put
So
the man on
what do
labor.
you expect? What do you expect? No credibility in Liberia. No one is held accountable. You say nothing against you, resign, and you will prosecute. You have not done anything. So Liberia is just another flag. You just wave it, and that's it. Moses, thank you so much. Thank you guys. Jay Young, you'll come back Tuesday. Friday. We're gonna have a powerful show.
It's gonna be a very big show.
Candidate will be in the house with us.
Yeah,
a presidential candidate is expected to be in the house with us on this Friday.
It is confirmed.
It's confirmed, and come here. And these are the questions I'm going to ask this presidential candidate. What are you going to do about 24 cents? Because if your government if anybody making 20, you got the minimum wage in Liberia, at least if it's $2 per hour, we'll take it. We're not
Yeah,
taking
but
anything in the cents again. No more cents. No
the
more
man,
cents.
the man making 24 say, and he has to ride keke to get home. How is he gonna get home?
And the keke and pimping and charge. Oh, pimping man won't take you from Cinco to PZ for $400. Oh. He said $400, 400, $500. Then when
Wow.
in huh? Oh, that's $700. And you making 24 cents. So, my man, let me tell you something. You see people walking in line, just going helter skelter. They're not walking because they're crazy. Oh. They're walking because they're obliged to walk.
Of
They're
course, my man.
forced to walk.
Man, it's tough, man. It's
They are
sad.
forced to walk. Because if
It's
you're
very
making
sad.
24 cents, you can spend all your money in transportation. In fact, the 24 cents I can pay away. So you gotta walk. You gotta
Oh,
walk.
Lord.
I mean, Gloria Ward, no, you're guessing. You don't know who the presidential candidate will be. The presidential candidate could be me. So you don't even know. But we're bringing a presidential candidate on Friday. Let him can tell us the platform. And my only question to him, the minimum wage. He got to promise, he got to make that promise. He or she got to make that promise on Friday.
Yeah, so we're gonna start the publicity. Maybe as of
Yeah, they
tomorrow.
will see from the
Yeah,
flyer. So
yeah,
yeah, the flyer will be out tomorrow.
yeah.
We want to thank everyone for showing up here tonight. Just thought to throw that in just so we can have something to go to bed with tonight and reflect on the reality of what's happening in our country. It's not ordinary. When you think about what Liberia and Liberians are going through, we thought that this civil war would have made a difference. Not even the civil war, starting from Mr. So-called Samuel Doe, who came and just made a mess, and then they didn't do well. He had to be taking out the power under the context, and then we went into a civil war. Charles Taylor came. He regretted that he didn't make peace with the Americans. Then Ellen Johnson started leave. Then here we got George Weah, who just living his life, living large. So it makes me just, and like Randy or hit Randy. Randy said something. He said, "You Moses Volcano," and many of the viewers on this show will not see a better Liberia. He earmarked his day of 2065. I say almost it look like to the end of the world
But
because
man,
I don't
that
know where we're
the
going.
kind of that bro we're looking for, it
Yeah,
will be for our children, not you and I.
but man, it's not even your children; it's generations after your children. Because Moses, the whole country is broken down. One of our brothers just came, right? We're supposed to be bringing him to discuss,
Yeah,
and you will
yeah.
hear from this guy firsthand. The country is broken down. I'm not kidding you. The only thing that keeping Liberia afloat that the United Nations. And the reason why I say that, if the United Nations was now creating world order and world peace, my man, our country could be infiltrated.
Of course.
Go to our borders. The borders are porous, slacked, corruption at the borders. What protecting Liberia? That's just the hands of God. Let me be honest with you. Just the hand of
Yeah.
God protecting us and his grace. Nothing else. The army who got in Liberia, 2,500 men, that we even got war tank. Go in Liberia, show me one war tank you got in Liberia. Go show me one helicopter, one gunboat. You got nothing. But you can sit down in Qatar and watch football. You're not even building the country's defense system. You're not. But man, listen. I don't even want to talk again. Let's call it a night.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it, my
let's call it
man.
a night. We can point to everything that is happening wrong in our country. We barely can point to anything that is happening right. Anything. Is that what we settled for? After more than 500,000 people died? Is that what we come to settle for? Other countries went through it. Look at the transformation in Rwanda. Look at the transformation in Ghana. Even next door, Sierra Leone making some progress. But every day we're doing well. We're doing well. When we do hand pump, that only well we dig all over the place. When will we do hand pump? Every our story we're doing well. But man, let's call it a night.
Yeah,
People here
that's it.
for being
Yeah.
here. Other authority, thanks for coming on. Let me just run through some of these folks. Emmanuel Jackson, great to have you here. Elisha, Gloria, Agnes, Jay Young, Theo Good, Loja Corner. My man, you disappear. You got to start coming back, man. Yeah, Steam Bonge, good to have
Yes,
you.
team. It was a pleasure, team.
Uh, just a lot of people. Raymond Clark, you came here a little later, but it was good. Yvette Cephas, my own mom, it's good to have you come back. The show is Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully you can join us. Fatih Sex, Thomas Awaji, thank you, my brother, for being here. Alexander Hayes, and everyone. This list is so long, I can't go through everyone. Jesse Farmer and Marilla Moore, we say thank you. We'll be back here Friday. Moses, good to see you. By the grace of God, we'll catch up.
Absolutely.
This is
Thank
Volcano,
you.
Moses, Sandy, the Issues Room. And you have a good rest of the week until Friday. We'll be here to have more of Liberia's talk. I got it.
Sure.
I thought we even got a show called Liberia's talk. Yeah. But it's serious stuff, my brother.
Yeah, you do likewise. Thank you. It
All right.
was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Mhm.